week on the program. With everything on our mind this week, fearful leaders in therapy, so-called assault rifle bans, and questions about the true origin of the coronavirus. Let's not forget the real question on our minds today. Who the hell is Beto O'Rourke? Wasn't he that guy that lost the Cancun cruise? Fuck him. Later, a new study shows conservatives are more informed than their counterparts. And finally, Dr. Fauci is caught misleading America again. Your emergency exit is right this way.
This exit is for emergencies only.
Thanks, Officer Dan. That was Officer Dan there with the intro. My man.
Man, you know, that guy's so nice.
All right.
One of the best.
Welcome to another episode of Emergency Exit Podcast. Whew, it is wonderful to be here again. It is episode 206. Today is May 28th, 2021. We are broadcasting live from K-Brand Studio. It is again 10 on 10 in our floating tin can. Far above the world. All right, much better.
Bro, I was practicing all week, bro. I was listening to all our podcasts and I kept harmonizing.
Good, because I was listening to those old ones and I'm like, God damn, when's he going to get it right? All right, thank
Today's
you
the
guys
day.
for joining us. I am Los. You could follow me on Twitter at That's Right Los. Joining me as always is exactly Tío Tomás.
Tío Tomás.
David Aguilar, my man. Making sure we're streaming live is my man, Brandon, not Jura52, the hard hat Mitchell. That's right.
The hard hat.
All right.
Lardass?
Lardass Mitchell. He's far from lardass.
No, he's not, man.
You don't even eat like things that fat guys eat.
He's fucking putting that fucking cement and shit all day, man. He's like, at least he weighs about 275. All muscle.
Yeah,
All muscle.
People that just listen probably don't know that he's actually 500 pounds.
Yeah. And that's
Pure man.
That's majority of the beard. About
right.
250 just in the beard.
All right, well, we've got a lot lined up here. If you listen to the intro, I think Officer Dan talked about fearful leaders in therapy, assault rifle bans, questions of the origin of the coronavirus, and we'll talk about Beto O'Rourke.
I miss that guy.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, whatever happened to him?
You don't miss his creepy poetry and you know about kids.
Hell
and
yeah, I'll
shit?
take your 45s and your AR-15s.
We're gonna when he fucking jumped on the counter, we're gonna go after your guns.
That was always funny. He would get up on some counter and talk about it. Goes to Whataburger and he stands up on a table.
He was like the fake fucking wannabe Obama.
That meme where they're having the presidential or the nominee, the Democrat nominee debate, and the picture of him standing on his podium, on his little podium. All right, we got a lot of stuff to take care of, like I said, but first we've got to talk about this beer in the brew world order. New bumper coming at you. It's the brew world order. That one's pretty sweet. All right, we've got Carboc Horseshoe Pilsner, the luckiest beer in Texas.
One of the better logos that we've had on this
So
show.
Horseshoe, it's pretty
Gorgeous.
This is a Pilsner beer, 4.5 alcohol by volume, 30 IBU, 12 fluid ounces of Pilsner Delight. This is the luckiest beer in Texas in collaboration with Hot Luck, live food and music venue. I bet it's what it is.
The Pitmasters.
All right, so we've already had a chance to drink it and think about what our ratings are going to be. Instead of thinking about it, we talked about stuff off the air. So let's go ahead and go to Brandon, so it gives us a little time to think about our tasting.
I like this beer. It reminds me of like a backyard barbecue.
Ooh.
You know, if you were out there, this is something that it makes sense. It's a Pilsner.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, really good. I don't know anything else like the Pitmasters or whatever in conjunction that it was made with, but if they made this, I'd try their food based off that. So I'm going to give this 8. That's right.
8, that's right.
Wow.
David, what do you think about it?
Man, I'm gonna go with my man Brandon. Man, I'm giving this an 8. That's right. Mainly because when my dad comes to Austin, he only drinks Busch. So whenever we go out to like drink somewhere or hang out somewhere, it's always hard finding him a beer that he can like and try, and we could like relate on being like, oh, that's a good beer. This is it. This is like a fucking classic
This is
beer.
your Bush.
Yeah, this is like my Bush. Like this is a boozy.
My
this,
Bush
this,
is the
this,
biggest.
this is a bougie Bush right here. And so I'm gonna give this an 8, man. This is fucking solid.
Women love the Bush.
Women love the Bush.
Oh, well,
George Bush.
George Bush. No, not him. He's got a limp handshake, according to Hank Hill. This is a really good beer. It's not a traditional like light beer. It's got full flavor hops that are super bright. They're barely bitter. It is like it's good. It's really good.
It's delicious.
It's so easy to drink, and you'll probably never get sick of it. I mean, I would probably if this was sold in like a 24 block or 36 block.
Oh yeah.
Like this would be. I think they need to do that more. By the
Yeah.
way, with like good beers
Yep.
that are critically claimed, like a Thirsty Goat.
Oh yeah.
Hey, sell me a fucking 24 block. Why do I want to just go in and always just buy?
I would love to get
You
it
guys
for the
are
homies.
making it. Why not just go ahead and fucking do it?
You're like, just fucking bring it to me.
Matter of fact, didn't was it Austin Beer Works who made that giant Peacemaker thing where it was like a 99 case?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I remember that.
Well, that being said, I think this deserves 99 case, a 99 case.
Whoa.
From Carboc, doing a great job with their premium style lager. I'm giving this a solid 9.
Wow.
This is great. This is a wonderful beer, and I can't.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna give it 99 red balloons.
I give it 99 Das Red Balloons.
Das.
Yes. How do you say red balloons?
Rojo. How the fuck
How do you say balloons in Spanish?
Man, I can't really think about it.
How do you say
right now.
condom?
Condom?
Condom. Roja condom.
Rojo condom.
Condom
Globos, there you
de
go.
rojo.
Globos. Yes,
Yeah,
Globo. It's a
duh.
fucking restaurant in Brownsville. Globo. Never mind.
Global.
But it also means world.
Mondo.
Mundo, but like a global, like a globe.
Globe.
The round shape.
Yeah. Are you sure it's a globe?
Mhm.
What if it's flat?
Oh shit. Are you a flat earther, bro?
No, fuck you.
Damn,
you're-
Los is a flat
guy's-
earther.
this
You
guy's a
hear
flat-
it here, ladies
No,
and gentlemen.
Stupid.
Where's Brian? Where's Brian at?
Fucking idiots.
Where's Brian? Brian, you got to call in, man. You fucking converted this guy.
Freaking idiots. I'm not a big fan of you. Go away. All right. I give this a 9. That was this week's Brew World Order. New bumper.
It's the Brew World.
Yeah, you know who I was watching one of the episodes. We got to get Go Vatos back, man.
Oh, yeah. Brian Govatos.
Yeah.
Brain Govatos, if
That-
you were reading our screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Brain Govatos. I'm sure that's like
Not one of my
common-
prouder moments.
That's like, that's something that all Bryans have probably dealt with
Yeah.
before. I mean, they probably are the only ones that spell their name right the first time every time.
Yep.
I still go accidentally throw the A in there on accident, and I go, oh, dang it. But it's quick. It's not like I go right
Yeah.
brain and I can automatically see it said brain. I'm like, oops.
Oops.
Bat.
Whoops.
Geez.
So what's up? What's going on with Beto, bro?
Well, I want to talk about that in a second, but if you guys want to give us a call, the number's down below, 830-875-0637. I was listening to a lot of the old episodes, and we had an episode where we had a bunch of voicemails. It was right after Jimmy left the show, and we had Dwayne on for an episode. We were all quarantined at home, which brings back fond memories of being at home all the time.
I still have those.
Those were so funny to listen to, listening back, where this guy was like, well, it's pretty obvious Jimmy's uncle abducted him and he's a reptilian shapeshifter that molested him.
Bro.
He was listening at like 3 o'clock in the morning and sending us messages and shit. Like, who the fuck is this guy? And then we called him on the air, but our phones weren't working so
Bad
good.
for
and
Jimmy, because
couldn't
I
get-
know he was abducted by his uncle, who was a reptilian shapeshifter, and he misses being sucked in his ass.
That's all.
Well, now, Jimmy, if you want to refute that, you got to call in 876-432.
I doubt Jimmy wants to listen because that also leads me to our new TikTok. We've been putting lots of new. We've been taking clips, and a lot of the things we talked about a year ago seem to defy. They aged well, if
Yes,
you will.
yes.
They aged well like whiskey in a barrel.
because we were saying things and asking. We were not. I wasn't actually saying things. I was asking the question.
Yes.
And entertaining the thought that this was leaked from a lab. Matter of fact, some of my first thoughts were that because they're right at that time before the coronavirus came out, there were massive protests in Hong Kong.
Yep.
Free from China. We wanted to be free from China, and one of my ideas was like, what if they released this to get everybody to go back home? And matter of fact, it did. Somebody called in and said, "Oh, that theory doesn't pan out because they already got what they wanted." But I don't think Hong Kong got anything they wanted out of that. Instead, we went down into full lockdown mode, and that changed everything. I also entertained the notion of it being, could this be population control? I entertained the notion, and obviously, if it was, there would be a lot more people dead from it.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to do this and you're going to get away with it, do it right the first time.
Unless they didn't mean to kill people.
No, they definitely. Why would they? Okay, I don't want to get back into a fucking conversation with you about your conspiracy bullshit.
I am not a conspiracy theorist.
You are.
I do not believe in any conspiracy.
When you sprinkle things that are truth with things that can be completely unproven and present them as if they're truth, and you say, well, connect the pieces. You got to understand. You got to connect the pieces.
We got the documents, Joe.
I've got. Listen,
we got the documents.
It takes common sense.
We got the documents, Joe.
You said that to me. It takes common sense, and I'm like, why would you use that argument at all? Like, there's people out there who think that we need more gun laws, and they call that common sense gun laws.
Yeah.
Like, what's common sense to some people aren't going to be common sense to others, just
Or
like hate speech.
Common sense isn't as common as we think it is.
Yeah, common sense ain't as common.
But he
That's
is a
right.
rapper.
Speaking of common, which is the shittiest name in the world for a rapper? Do you think you want to be called Rare or something?
I know, for
or
real.
Diamond?
Hey, we're common.
But speaking of fucking mediocre, let's talk about Beto O'Rourke. He's
Beto
pondering a run for Texas governor in 2022, and it makes me think about his whole run as Senate, which I think actually would go better now. But it's a weird thing. He barely lost.
Yeah.
He could have been the senator. Instead, he fell back into mediocrity, tried to run for president, was told that he was probably going to be the gun guy for Biden. I don't know if that ever happened or that's never going to happen.
Or it is happening right now.
We don't know. Of course, the ATF nominee that Biden's picked is all about banning guns.
He's a Beto fan.
And I just look at the Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary for a free state.
Mm-hmm.
The right to bear arms shall not be infringed.
Yep.
And I thought about all these things. A well-regulated militia. Now, what does that mean, well-regulated? Now, in the terms of regulated, they don't mean like rules.
Mm-hmm.
It's regular.
Mm-hmm.
The word comes from regular. It's regulated. There are people that, when you have people that are regular, they are town folk. Local grassroots militia.
Something that is represented by the actual people.
Being necessary for the free state.
Yes.
What's also necessary for a free state is for the people to keep and bear arms.
Yes.
That also shall not be infringed. Both those things shall not be infringed. The well-regulated militia and the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
And it just so happens they're being infringed.
But these are okay. That's my interpretation of it. And as a matter of fact, I think it's a literal interpretation of it. It's called an originalist interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have disagreed, give us a call. Let's talk about it a bit. Do you think well-regulated means that we need to be regulating it and put more red tape on things? What's going to stop more people from doing such things? It's the argument that they give about abortion. They go, well, if you ban abortion, what's stopping somebody from getting one? And I go, okay, well, you're right. Okay, we'll use that one too.
Well, and even with
it's not going to stop people from doing you can't stop evil people from doing evil things.
No. Well, and the thing that
not to say abortion's like an evil. It is an evil thing, but you're not evil, and if you do it, you're misled.
Yes.
In a lot of cases.
Well, and the thing
by the devil.
The thing about
by Satan
himself. Hey, bro, I'm gonna fucking cast that out. I'm
gonna make a TikTok
bro,
right now.
You know, like exactly what you said. Like, what we do so many times is we read our modern version, or we take the meaning of our modern words and read that into historical texts that were never meant to be read that way. Right. You know what I mean? And so when you read the Constitution or you read older documents, you need to understand the language and the context that it was written in. And that's where the left and the Democrats get away with twisting words and saying, well, see, it says regulated, and so what we know right now as regulated means governed almost by an outside force.
Governed by an
Right.
outside source.
But what they meant as regulated is actually what you're saying. It's the regular folk who are a representative of themselves, and they're the ones who ought to be bearing arms. Because what happened, right? Then you when you know the history of America, why is that so important? Well, because they came from Britain, that was trying to like kill them, right? And so for them, it's like, no, we the people need to defend ourselves.
We the people. That's one of my pronouns is we.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Me too.
And us.
Not us. I just say we.
I should have grabbed that video. It could have been another running part for all teachers are bastards.
Oh, teachers are bastards.
Yeah. Or bitches, whatever you want to go with. All right, so let's get into some of this. This comes from the politicalinsider.com from Rusty Weiss. Rusty Weiss, what a sweet name.
Yeah.
Is that short for anything? Rusty? Is it...
Usually Russell.
Yeah, that's
right,
true.
right.
That's true.
I thought maybe it was like steel, but you get older and therefore you get
You
rusty.
get rusty.
Or his name is Iron or something. I don't know. Former Democratic presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke is reportedly considering a run for Texas governor in 2022. The Associated Press ran a story based on the comments of a top aide to O'Rourke. He still has aide. Who the fuck? What does he do? Why does he need
Who wants
aide?
to aid him?
Who said he is, quote, again weighing another campaign, this time for governor. Do you think he even stands a chance against my man, Matthew McConaughey?
Man, I mean, you never know. Like, nowadays, you never know.
Do you think it'd be a lot cooler if he ran for governor?
It'd be a lot cooler if he did.
Yeah. I think what Abbott's doing is been great.
Oh, yeah. I agree also. What about it have you liked?
About Abbott?
Mm-hmm.
Just his willingness to cut against what the left media, the left wing part of politics is doing.
Creating resistance.
Pushing back and being the leader that Texas, sort of, or at least what people think a leader from Texas would do. They'd secede from this mask mandate thing and be one of the first states to actually do it and fully open up while everybody was saying, here comes the third wave, and then we can report 0 deaths like a week ago, right?
Yeah, for what, 2 months straight or something like that? We've had 0 deaths?
He's left us to be such a... Like whenever we started seeing problems with the homeless and or defunding police, and he goes, ignore the homeless, but he's talking about defunding police, and he goes, yeah, any city that defunds the police, we're defunding the city. Mm-hmm. Like it's fucking down, dude.
Yeah.
Like if you're for defunding the police, you obviously you come from a place where you think police are bad people, and I'm sorry you think that way, but the majority of them, the overwhelming majority of them, are good, honest people that protect you. That when you call them, they show up. Yeah. Whether it takes.
It's
30
almost
minutes
like
or not.
accusing, right? Because you know that fucking ongoing joke of like Starbucks people always get your name wrong. Yeah. It's like accusing Starbucks baristas as intentionally getting your name wrong. You know what I mean? As saying cops intentionally kill black people, intentionally kill Mexicans or colored people. It's like you can't read someone's mistakes or someone's on the moment reaction to what you perceive.
But their whole notion about that is that, well, and I get it. I see where they're coming from, but they miss a crucial step when they go, police are targeting blacks, right? And the reason why we know that is that there's far more black people in jail. Or we also know that because when you have a black male and a white male and they're up for the same fucking thing, the black male gets treated worse.
Yep.
But they forget all the other things. It's like the wager, the gender wage gap.
Oh yeah.
Like they seem to like leave out important details. Oh yes, the fact that they start off with the fact. This is like a conspiracy. Like this is the way you talk to me sometimes.
What?
Where you
I'm
come
not
out
a
with a
conspiracy
fact.
theorist.
You come out with a fact, and then you neglect all this other stuff that would make that other stuff make sense. Now I'm just kidding with you, but
I've never
sort
said a
of kidding.
conspiracy theory in my life.
I take it to see that's a lie right there. Let's see what is it? The polygraph test proved that
that was a lie.
that was a lie. Fucking Maury is funny. Where was I at there? It don't matter.
No. And one thing you're just saying is the fact that when you sprinkle on a little bit of truth, it
like
makes
the gap, wage gap. They'll say these things that are true, but then forget or intentionally omit, like lying by omission kind of thing. Like when you say that and you ignore, okay, so blacks are incarcerated more, or let's say we have this example of a black and a white guy.
Yeah.
What's their background? We forget like all about the background. We just go, okay, these are two people. But like all that does actually matter. Does this guy have more priors?
Yeah.
Does this guy have nothing? Like,
a criminal record is,
like,
you know,
all these things sort of matter, and they don't put that into account. They just go, okay, this and that. Okay, let's ignore that. They go, well, we say blacks are incarcerated more. Well, we say black people tend to commit more crimes. But then they don't want to accept that because why? Why don't they accept that as
because to them that sounds racist.
Because they're being targeted. That's
Yes.
why that's why. Because of course they're being targeted.
And I think it comes off as
Are they
racist.
not?
Well, I think it comes
Committing
off
more crimes?
I think it comes off as racist just because they've been taught to hear it as racist to say, well, black people commit more crimes, that's why more of them go to jail. To people, that doesn't sound like common sense. It sounds like racism because they've been taught that to hear it as a racist thing, rather than saying, no. If you read the statistics and you look at the facts, especially in like the hood and like black communities, there's a lot of crime there, and in white communities, there's a lot of black crime there. So it isn't that it's a racist thing. It's just that black people commit crime, whether it's in a black community, white community, or brown community.
Okay, and then they go a step further. Well, they come from more impoverished areas. Why is that? Well, because the system has kept them down with racist policies. And you go, what racist policies? Like, it's illegal to be racist.
Yeah.
Or to discriminate against race, but yet they want to have these extra laws put on, like the anti-Asian hate crime bill or whatever. You're like, well, it's already illegal to hate somebody based on their fucking race. Why are we keep adding more things to it?
And the thing is that they're trying to govern the heart, and it's never going to happen because unless, you know, fucking Elon Musk or somebody invents, you know, the thing that reads your brain and reads your intentions, you're never going to know the motive of why a person is doing something. All you can do is, right, we were talking about that before the show, you know, all we can do is speculate. You know what I mean?
Oh, Rachel says all lives matter.
Hey, Rachel.
What hate speech that is?
We also had Chris on. I saw Chris say howdy, and I was like, what's up, Chris?
Oh, is that my man Chris?
Yeah,
Been listening
bro.
every week. He's a cool guy, man.
He's awesome.
He does. He used to do a beard talk show.
Really?
I remember going to a beard and mustache competition he was at, and he's he's a Christian man.
Is he
Christian
really?
Man. Oh yeah.
So I'm talking about Chris.
And he has he's got the issues that we deal with. People that are intolerant, but claim that they're very tolerant people.
I need to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
If I were to enter a mustache competition right now, what would I get?
Oh well, you have to go in there's different categories. So
What if you were my coach, what category would you put me in?
Well, first, would you shave that little landing strip that shows dicks to go
This?
up into your mouth, not down, or
Is it
what?
this?
Yeah. Well, would you plan on getting rid of that or having?
Hey,
that?
if you were my coach and you told me to get rid of it, I'd get rid of it.
Well, a true mustachian does only rocks a mustache
Okay.
at a competition.
Okay.
Now, of course, you see I'm a mustachian, but I'm not in competition.
You're not in competition mode.
Although I'm like contemplating of going right back to my mustache again, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
But if I was you, I would. You probably wouldn't do well in a competition yet. Because you don't have anything yet. You haven't seen what's out there. Like, if you're going to go in... Okay, you can either go into natural, which means no product. You just comb it, whatever, right? No product, though. And you try to go with there. I've seen some people that have killer natural mustaches. Then you got your styled mustache, which is what I would normally do, like, and have... Like, you wouldn't be able to compete in that. You don't have the girth. You have good roots. You just have to let it grow for, like, a year or two. You need to stop complaining about how it goes. It goes in my mouth.
I do. I complain about that all the time.
Yeah,
So
pussies do that. They
I'm
go,
sorry.
I have to trim my mustache because my hair gets in my mouth when I eat. I go, yeah, did you not see me eat a second? Did you not see me eat a burger a second ago?
I did, but that's the thing. I don't know if that's proper mustache treatment.
You need to suffer for your craft.
Okay.
And that is
Should I get a
suffering.
Dapper Dan?
What's a Dapper Dan?
The thing that you put on your cup so it...
I have one of those actually.
Yeah.
Those were cool, but you don't need them once you get used to it. Once it gets to a long enough point, it really does stay out of the way. And every once in a while, you get a couple strays that work their way, but you move them. You move them.
I've been doing a good job of like combing. I showed you guys my brush earlier. You know, I've been brushing
Yeah.
it, trying to do my thing.
Yeah, so as soon as you get out of the shower, get your hair dryer and brush it, and it's going to do a lot more for staying power. You know, he's got a killer mustache and beard. Is co-producer of the show for a minute. Actually, we call him assistant, like assistant to the producer, Kyle. Right, but he's got roots, man. He's got fucking like 5 hairs coming out of one follicle. I mean,
Oh shit!
his mustache is thick.
Really?
It's fucking.
See, that's
thick.
what I need to get, and that's the other reason why I shave every now and then, because I'm like, well, maybe if I shave, it'll grow back better. But I don't know if that's a true theory or not.
It's all about personality. If you were to compete, it's all about the personality that you have. You got to entertain the crowd a bit, but also impress the judges.
Yeah.
You know, be humble and maybe tell a joke.
So I would have to wear like a
G
G-string or something, because it's a leftist crowd.
No, see, sometimes people do that, and I think that's like it's a little too much.
They wear G-strings?
Yeah, there's a couple people that really tried to. If you ever watched the show, it used to be on Netflix. I don't think it's on Netflix anymore. It was called Whisker Wars, and it's what I first saw. It was a series on Netflix, but it was aired on IFC at one point. You know,
IFC, damn.
and it was basically following around a couple clubs, facial hair clubs, where they maimed up and they competed. And the Austin Facial Hair Club were one of the main groups that were
Really?
in the show.
Which you won many medals in.
Well, I was part of the club.
Yeah, there you go. That.
And I represented them for all the wins that I've had. So,
Yeah.
but that's what got me into it. But you could see that they were talking about how you wanted to entertain the judges. The judges judge on these kind of criteria. But then by the time I got into it, it wasn't really about that anymore. It was more about the charity, which is all good. You know, they did everything for money, but it was all charity, going to be donated, which is all good. But then it stopped being really about the competition, like really about the competition. Now, there's a few competitions that are pure competition, right? You know, the nationals and everything. But everything else in between are just little fun ones where we can get together.
You think about going back?
I don't know. I may, but I just...
It's like Michael Jordan coming back fucking from baseball, bro. He's like coming back to win 3 more. Let me tell y'all, motherfuckers, zip, zip, zip. He's gonna shave.
I
it.
relied on having like a style, so I dressed all the way up.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
I've
had
seen
a
your
suit,
pictures.
and I wore a tie that had a sweet little.
You got your
tie bow
haircut,
here.
your little pomp rocking.
Yeah, and I made sure to have my mustache real nice and neat. And I went for that aspect a lot more, and I told only one joke, and I said that joke over and over and over, and I told it this one last time. The last time I said it, goes,
what was the joke?
So you get up there on stage and they're like, oh, hey, we've got, what's your name? And I'm like, my name's this and that. And he goes, what's going on? I go, man, fuck, it's been a great week, but great weekend. I've just had a terrible week. And he goes, why? What happened? I go, my girlfriend broke up with me. And he's like, oh, that's a bummer. I go, that's okay, man. I stole her wheelchair. And I wait. Right? And I go, well, guess who came crawling back? And, they got good laughs. Everyone expected me to say the joke. And then one time I said it at like a VA, like a VFW.
Oh, no.
Veterans of Foreign Wars, right? And it was like a competition there. And there's a lot of...
Cripples.
I wouldn't say that, but disabled guys, perhaps.
Some
And I said that joke, and I don't
some
think
Lieutenant Dans.
I think I got like maybe one chuckle in the crowd. And I was up against 2 other guys that I've beaten several times. And it was just us 3. And, you're guaranteed to place 1, 2, or 3. I got 3rd. It was the last time I competed in mustache, I think, solo like. And I had to stop saying that joke after that because I feel like, okay, maybe it's ran its course. A lot of people that are there, we all go to the same things and shit.
So they know it.
They knew I was going to tell the joke, and there's always somebody new in the crowd, so it's good to tell that joke 'cause it's a good joke.
Yeah, it's funny. It's so funny.
Guess who came crawling back? Anyways, we're talking about fucking Beto here.
Yeah, true. True.
Well, anything's better than talking about
I was gonna say, I'm sure that was more interesting than fucking hearing about Beto.
He's really. It says here that he's taken no formal steps toward a campaign, like calling for donors. But do you think he would be a viable candidate at all? I don't think so.
I don't think so. From all the shit he's said and done in the past, no.
I think especially as a governor, I think running for Senate was even a stretch. Like, he could have run for mayor of Austin and probably get it.
Yeah.
He could probably still do that, run for mayor of Austin. I think you have to live in Austin, but it's easy as renting a fucking a hotel at the W for 2 years.
Son of a bitch.
On your He's got his, that fucking guy's got his own mayor's mansion, but he lives at the W.
Yeah.
And we pay for it.
Yeah.
Fuck
that guy.
Ain't that about a
Fuck
bitch?
Adler, bro.
So of course
And you see him on Joe Rogan talking shit?
I did actually.
Bro, if I would have been... Don't get me started.
Well, I only actually listened to the one clip they put on YouTube where he asked about the homeless people.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, Abbott. Joe Rogan has this habit of doing this. Now, I sort of get why he does it. He doesn't want to, upset the guest or whatever, and maybe that's his action. But like, he should have more balls than that as the biggest podcaster in the world. Yeah. But he doesn't like. He'll do it for Alex Jones all day. Yeah, of course. He'll like, oh, hey, well, okay, let's stop.
Because it's his friend.
Let's talk about this. But when he starts talking, when Adler starts talking about homeless people, and I think he talked about how like 10% of the vets, or 10% of homeless are vets, but we had this program where we housed all the vets, and there's still 10% of them out there. I don't think he talked about that they're doing drugs on the street very much. I certainly don't. I hope he didn't say that they're those needles are from diabetics.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
That would be hilarious.
It's hard to look at the homeless situation and then know all the fucking needles they pick up and to say, oh, but you should feel bad for them because they don't want to be there. But it's like, if they didn't want to be there, then why are there so many fucking needles? Why are they shooting up so much?
Well, it's because they're able to get it easily or
yeah. And what I'm saying pretty much is like, they're doing drugs, which is inhibiting them to be homeless.
Speaking of which, of homeless, Mackenzie Kelly was featured on some local Fox affiliate thing, which got taken nationally, and then. Guess who talked about her today? Fucking Nazi himself, Ben Shapiro.
No way. What?
Ben Shapiro said fucking Republican, Austin Councilwoman Mackenzie Kelly. I was like, this is awesome, dude. Like, it's reached to like the highest point in conservative media, pretty much. It's pretty freaking cool. And she must feel really good about it, and why she doesn't answer our phone calls anymore.
Yeah, I know, for real.
She's like, trust me, I've got better things to do. I got better things to do than be
I'm
on
telling
this
you, bro.
podcast.
It's not just.
I'm actually thinking that she's going to be on Joe Rogan's eventually too.
Well, it's not just that she thinks that we're, I'm pretty sure it's a PR team being like, you don't want to be with these people because they seem like that crowd. But I think it's also. She can't handle her alcohol around us, bro.
I watched that episode.
Can't handle alcohol around us, bro. She's drank beer on the show twice, bro, and she can't do that.
I watched that episode again, and it happened to be the one right after she came on, because I'm just looking for clips to watch or to try to clip out for Instagram. And
would it be
TikToks.
bad if I took that clip and put it on our social media?
Yeah, don't do that. Matter of fact, it doesn't help her at all, and it was a fun, genuine moment of hers. I think that she'd like us to probably delete that.
That ain't gonna happen. But she's also been a model that showed her body off. So what is that any worse than what she's done before in the past?
It's true.
Come on, man. Come on.
But that was much further in the past before she had a child.
I'm keeping it 100, bro. I ain't telling you to delete shit I've done on the fucking podcast. We can't delete her stuff, man. You got to keep it real 1,100.
Well, I respect her more than I respect you, I guess.
I'm with you on that one,
Just
too.
kidding.
I'm with you on that one.
Okay, so we're talking about Beto here. Of course, we're talking about Beto because he said, hell yeah, I want to take your guns. And that got me into this little clip here from... I guess it's Biden's nominee. I don't even know. I barely keep up with this kind of shit because it's not fun anymore. It hasn't been fun since old Orange Man was in office, and
good old
yellow Orange Man there.
Said,
but
yeah,
this is
that got me into
ADF director nominee David Chipman.
Little clip here
and he's going to admit.
I guess it's Biden's nominee. I don't even know. I barely keep up with this kind of shit because it's not fun anymore.
If you actually
it hasn't been fun
guns,
since
like a little bit about guns. Obviously. You don't if you believe that those should be banned, but let's listen to this guy, ATF director nominee, Chipman.
Mr. Chipman, a minute ago, Senator Whitehouse asked you if any of your views on guns are out of step with the majority of the American people. The AR-15 is one of, if not the most popular rifle in America. It's not a machine gun. It's a rifle. Your public position is that you want to ban AR-15s. Is that correct?
Senator, thank you for the question, and
thank you for the question.
Thank you for our visit yesterday and offering me a Dr. Pepper.
I had
made
about
me
12
reminisce
Dr.
about my time in
Peppers.
Central Texas. But now to your question. With respect to the AR-15, I support a ban as has been presented in a Senate bill. and supported by the president. The AR-15 is a gun I was issued on ATF's SWAT team, and it's a particularly lethal weapon. And regulating it as other particularly lethal weapons, I have advocated for. As ATF director, if I'm confirmed, I would simply enforce the laws on the books, and right now, there is no such ban on those guns.
So you want to ban the most popular rifle in America.
Yeah.
So you want to ban the most popular rifle in America?
But respectfully, yeah, he said he'll enforce any of the laws, but right now that's not the law, so I'm not going to enforce anything like that. But I do support that. So, I mean, he's being pretty honest about it. And I've made me go wonder, like, AR-15 is not issued to, I mean, maybe it was back in his day, but now the M4, the M16, if I'm not mistaken, those guns are the ones that are issued today. Why were they changed? Matter of fact, I had to even look it up. What does the Army have? What kind of weapons are they equipped with? Because, you know, a lot of people say this is a weapon of war.
Yeah.
It's a weapon of war. So go ahead and scroll down here. And this is about the Army. These are the guns that they are issued. The M4 carbine, that's what they would call a long gun, or not a long gun, but a black rifle there. That is, you'd look at that and you go, that's a fucking AR-15.
That's a gorgeous.
It looks just like one, doesn't it? And then you go down, M this, M that, M this, M that, M this, M that, MK19, MK, ooh, M14, MX, XM. I don't
That's
see
odd.
AR.
Listen, there's
I don't
not an
see
AR-15
I don't even
on
see
there.
AK
Yeah.
47 on there. So, I mean, if we're talking about their weapons of war, it's the words they use. Oh, it's more lethal. Like, how is it more lethal? Like, anything is lethal. Like, everything is lethal. Dude, so many things are lethal.
This is lethal right here.
Is that an
This
assault,
is lethal.
assault scotch?
It may be.
I think that they're like, why can't they just be honest about why they want to get rid of it? What makes the AR-15 such a lethal killing machine?
Hold on.
It's got a bullet that's just a little bit bigger than a .22 long rifle. It's got a little bit more gunpowder, which means it goes a little bit faster, but the bullet is barely
not that
any
much,
bigger than that.
I've shot a fucking AR-15, bro.
They barely kick.
Yeah, I mean, so why do you think they're trying to ban it?
It's interesting. I just don't know why they do that. Like I said before, they all come from this background where they mean well. But their ideas and what they want to do to make these things go away, like mass murders, are definitely not rooted in reality here. When they say the reason why they really want to get rid of this is because of the mass murders that have happened. It's the #1 weapon used in mass murders.
Is that what you think?
Well, that's what they say.
No, but what do you think?
Well, what do you mean, what do I think? I'm telling you what I think.
No, you're telling me what they say. I'm asking you, do you believe what they say?
Of course not. Why? That's why I'm bringing up the fact of
So
this.
then what do you think they're trying to do? Why do you think they're trying to
I
take
don't know
them away?
what they're trying to do. I'm telling you what they think that they're doing, and I don't have any idea. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't think that they're trying to control us, because there's much easier ways to do these kind of things. And if they're going to be these ultimate globalists that want to take over the world and do something like the world isn't a fucking comic book.
I never said they were globalists. I'm just asking you, why do you think they're trying to take these away from people?
I never said you said anything. What makes you think that I was saying that you?
Because you started going off on a rant.
Yeah, I was, because there's people that would say that.
But what?
Like
why,
you.
But why do you think?
Like you, motherfucker.
But why do you think they're trying to take them away?
Because they're assholes. They're idiots.
They're assholes.
They're
really, meanies. They're just mean.
It really comes down to two things, and you can really do this for everything that they do. It comes down to two things. Either they're stupid or they're malicious. All right? They have evil intent. Now, I don't believe everybody that wants to save other people are evil. I just think they're fucking stupid. They're ignorant. You know, when they talk about these guns, like, they have no idea about them. Like, what makes an AR so lethal compared to a .22 pistol? You know, what's the difference? Well, they can shoot more. Like, they shoot exactly the same amount.
Yeah.
It's just about the clip. So they are the magazine. So if you have 100 rounds, nobody needs 100 rounds. Well,
so what you're telling me is that you think this person who has probably a really good education, has gone to school and moved up his way to be the nominee, the reason that he is supporting it is because he's stupid, not because he has malintent.
He's not stupid. His idea of it is stupid. It all boils down to those two things. Either they're dumb, ignorant about the issue, or they're evil.
So you think he's dumb and stupid?
No, the idea of him thinking that these need to be banned is
I know,
stupid.
but what I'm asking you is, why do you think he's?
I don't think these guys are stupid. They're literally on the top level.
So then you've eliminated one of the
government.
categories that you said what it was. So then the other one is there's malicious
I'm
intent.
going to tell you this again. I don't think that they're stupid. The idea is stupid. This is why you need to take a step back and reflect, because I didn't fucking call him stupid.
No.
The idea that he's thinking about is dumb because he's not informed enough, or he thinks that they all come from this background where we don't want any more mass killings. But if we know anything about mass killings, they're not mostly done
I agree
by
with you on all that.
AR-15s. They're done by handguns.
I agree with you on all that. But then I asked you, do you think that this man is ill-informed? And he, like I said, obviously he's well-educated.
Jeez, let me think. Somebody that's up for a top government job is an idiot or a dummy. It's completely stupid. Doesn't know what he's talking about.
Or is right. So then obviously no. Right? So then it eliminates the first category that you said, which was he's stupid.
I don't know anything about this guy. Why would I make any judgment about this guy? I don't know him. I barely know his last name.
But what I'm saying...
Why do you want to try to get me to say something?
I'm not trying to get you... What I'm trying to say...
Why can't I just ask the question?
What I'm trying to say is you gave two categories.
Yeah.
And I'm letting you know, okay, let's go through category one.
No, I don't want to go through them. I don't want to go through them. That's the problem.
And what we've seen is...
Because you don't know anything. What's his first name?
That's not what I'm saying.
See, like, I don't want to start judging people.
I'm not judging.
As a Christian, you need to take a step back and reflect,
bro.
Which is the name of this episode.
I'm not judging.
I know, okay?
It really is.
Because what you do here is you're trying to goat me, and you're just not going to goat me. See, you say I'm not. You are trying to goat me. You're going, but we've already gone through that, so let's go to this other part. You're goading me into trying to get into this conversation of trying to judge this guy and try to call him evil intent. I have no idea of his intents yet.
I asked you a question. You gave me an answer that had two responses.
Okay. I
went through both responses, and we eliminated that he was stupid. So then answer number two was the only one left.
He's not stupid.
That's what I'm saying. So if we eliminated that answer, then the second one that you said was there's malicious intent.
See,
and all I'm saying is...
Take a step back and reflect. What did I say that was stupid about him? Was it him as a person? He's a fucking moron?
No.
See, he's a moron?
No, you're reflecting on that. All I'm saying is...
No, this is what you're saying. You're saying every time you say this is like when Rand Paul was saying, okay, Dr. Fauci, you support gain of function research. He's like, no, I don't. You got it all wrong. This is what you're doing.
No.
You're pushing a line onto me. Fauci is not for, he may not be for gain of function research, but he is for studying a virus and seeing, as a virologist, you got to study these things and see how they affect.
And if you were to push him and say, if gain of function were to be a means and through which finding something out, would you go there? I'm sure he would say yes.
He said he actually. We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Let's go into that.
Well, you need to actually take a step back.
Well, no.
What drugs are you on today?
Bro,
that
I'm like what I'm trying to say. What happened right now was we brought up a situation and I asked you a question, and I asked you, why do you think he did that? And you said, well, the reason somebody would say that is either because they're misinformed or stupid, or there's malicious intent. And so then what I did was, okay, well, he's gone through a lot of schooling. He's all in this rank. And I asked you, so do you think he's stupid? And you said, of course he's not stupid. So then I'm saying, okay, well then what's the other thing you said was malicious intent? And then I said, okay, do you like, to me.
Okay, so now, okay. Mm-hmm. This is the issue with your stupid analogy again. I'm going to go over this again, and you better fucking listen, because I'm really getting fucking sort of annoyed by your cockiness of the whole thing.
I'm not cocky. Bro, I'm not cocky. I'm just asking you questions.
No, you're not just asking questions. You're trying to goat. And I'll tell you this. We don't... Okay, let's go with your example. We've eliminated that he's not stupid. Okay, let's go into malicious. What do you know about him that would constitute him being as malicious?
I would have to do my research.
Then why did you bring up this stupid fucking thing in the first place? Because I said, I don't know this guy. Mm-hmm. what he's talking about is either him being stupid about it or being evil about it.
So I'm not.
How are we trying to correlate anything of him being evil at this point?
And where I would have gone with this would be, I'm not trying to say that he's evil, but what the ideology that he believes in is evil.
I don't know his ideology.
Well, obviously, it's a leftist ideology that is about domineering and controlling people by taking their guns away and doing all these things and thinking you know better than the lower class.
Or maybe he thinks that the fucking AR-15 is a lethal weapon that kills people all the fucking time.
Because of the ideology that is being fed to him.
Because he's also been issued and he knows about the gun. Therefore, I think that these guns are full of evil and I need to get rid of them.
So then he's stupid.
Yes.
But you just said he wasn't.
No.
Because he has all the education. He's in this class.
Just because someone has education, okay, take a step back.
I am.
How many times am I going to tell you? I don't think he's a full-blown fucking moron with the fucking dunce cap. His idea is stupid. Doesn't mean he's stupid. Like you.
That's
I
what
think
I'm saying.
your ideas right now are idiotic and stupid right now.
Yeah.
You're being a stupid ass.
Uh-huh.
Do I think you're a moron?
Of course not.
No.
I know.
Stop trying to say that. He's a smart, educated guy, so we've taken away that he's smart. No, we didn't. We don't know anything about him.
No.
The only thing we know is that he's owned an AR-15. He knows these things can kill people, and therefore he's got this idea based on that.
So his ideology,
misled.
Which is, like I said, where I was going to go with this was the ideology
misled.
that he believes in is wrong.
He's misled by ideology. No, you're not right. Stop
I'm
trying
not-
to go like,
I'm-
yeah, like exactly, yeah. That's what I was saying this whole time.
No.
You weren't doing any of that a second ago.
What I was trying to
Stop trying to fucking make this seem like you were right the whole fucking time. You were just trying to goat me into trying to call him evil.
No, see,
without knowing
bro,
anything about
look,
the guy.
Brandon, you know what he's doing right now, Brandon? He's doing the same thing to me that he did to the Liberty ladies. He is reading my intention because that's something he would do. He would try to trap somebody in order to get them to say this. I'm just asking questions. Just like you did with the Liberty ladies, you think they had ill intent of going somewhere to troll, and they weren't doing that because you were going to do it.
They admitted that they were doing that.
But not that time. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like I'm just asking questions because I'm trying to.
It's funny that you bring them up as an example of how like we got. It's like, yeah, you guys are identical. You guys are all fucking conspiracy theorists, and you guys make sense a quarter of the time.
We believe in general things, but not the same things.
Every last thing that they agree on, you're like,
I think you wouldn't have more in common than I do with that.
I just try to be more logical about these things and think about it a little more. I mean, honestly, I don't know this guy. And either his idea comes from the bleeding heart idea, which makes him a stupid ass, but not literally a stupid guy with no education. With this thing, oh yes, you're right, Los. You're right,
I'm agreeing with you, bro. I'm agreeing with you.
No, you're not, because a second ago you were like, no, we ruled that out. How is that agreeing with me when you said that we ruled out him being not stupid?
Because I'm talking about the ideology that he believes in. Like I said, of course he's not stupid. Because look at where he is in his career.
I'm not calling him stupid. I'm saying that the
I agree
idea
with
and what brought him to that idea misled him.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're not. You're
Yes.
trying. Okay. Sure. It's easy to say what you didn't say when you never say anything. When you ask these
That
questions.
is true.
When
That
you
is
ask
true.
misleading questions and go, well, I was just asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You can also mislead by asking questions.
Yes, that is true. But I was asking questions to see what you really thought about this person.
Oh, so you were trying to goat me, and you were trying to say that I had no intent.
No.
That I'm trying to put intention on you here.
What I was
now
trying,
you're admitting that there was an intention.
No,
behind this.
what I was trying to do was to see what you really believed about him, because what you believed about him was pretty much what the media was saying. All I want to know is, do you believe him or not? Like, do you see him as a stupid person and you disregard what he says? Or do you see him as a malicious person and so you kind of key in on some of the things he's saying more than others?
I think what you need to know about me is that when it comes to this issue, and when we talked about if we're looking at it like a scientist and we look at fucking data, I mean, clearly the AR-15 is not the weapon of choice.
It's not.
It's not even the gun of choice. It's not even the fucking way people most are killed by other people.
Yeah.
But somehow it's been brought forth.
Yep.
All right, and people
For some reason.
For some reason, I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Could be malicious. Okay.
Could be
malicious
or
reasons.
could be stupidity.
It could be he's got a stake in fucking Ruger 9mm.
Boom, there
Who
you go.
fucking knows?
See?
But the point is, the idea it's either stupid or malicious.
Yes.
And right now, all I'm seeing is it's stupid.
Okay.
He's being stupid about
And so you believe that
I've been consistent since the second I started talking about this.
No, so what I'm saying is, so you believe what he says. You believe that what he's saying is that he believes what he says, and he's just misled.
I don't believe what he says. I don't believe that he. I believe that he believes he thinks that, but obviously, person that probably never even shot that gun. I don't know anything about him.
So you believe that he's misled?
I know he's misled.
Okay.
Obviously, if you're going to be a director of the ATF, you have access to statistics. And if you don't see that, if we're going to ban a gun that's most lethal, why don't we eliminate the guns that, can you look that up? What is the gun most used in mass murders? I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be the AR-15.
All I was trying to ask
just has
you,
the capability of killing a lot
I'm
of
keeping
people.
it 100. All I wanted to ask you was, do you really believe him in what he's saying?
Again, you're asking me?
Yes, that's
what was
all.
my answer to you?
Well, it wasn't really an answer because you were saying, well, either he's stupid or he's malicious.
Yeah, that's an answer.
But the thing is,
it's not everything's so black and white. I'm like a fine wine, bro. You're not gonna get like a yes and no out of me. You're gonna have to. It's complex. There's layers.
But I just want to know.
I'm like a fine wine. I'm Kanye.
I'm with you. I just want to know if you believe it. Like if you listen to that and think, oh, this guy's so stupid, but I guess he believes it.
Well, how can you be for a ban of singly AR-15s or any semi-automatic rifle that isn't a handgun that are the most common weapon type used in mass shootings in the United States? Total of 144 different handguns being used in 96 incidents. The involvement of semi-automatic rifles in mass shootings. What is that? Owing their use in several high-profile mass shootings, there has been much public discussion over suitability or necessity of assault weapons for the purpose of self-defense.
So handguns are more used than assault rifles.
Yeah, so why aren't those being banned? Like if they are, and then that will maybe lead you go, maybe it's a malicious thing.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, I'm not going to give you a definitive answer because I don't know anything about it. I can just go, these are the facts that we can get. Maybe he's got different facts. Maybe somebody's lying here. All I can say is somebody's lying here. And
that's what we could agree on.
Yeah.
Somebody's lying.
Why can't you just deal with that?
Well, because I think they're lying for a purpose.
Well, yeah.
And you think they're just being dumb.
No, see, that's your issue. I like to wait for the facts to come out.
I like to jump ahead.
Of course you do.
Of course.
Exactly.
I'm the guy in the video games who will run in and start shooting without checking anything out.
So anyways, I just start blasting.
Yeah.
So let's go to this next link here, and we'll finish this up. We'll finish up with this one here, the study.
I'm gonna keep stroking my stash.
And then we'll go much more on the other side. This turned more into a yelling at David thing today.
Which I don't think was justified, but okay.
I don't think it was justified, but okay.
I don't think it was justified. There's no reason to yell at me. I wasn't
yelling at you. It's just that I don't know what you're up to lately, but I think you're on something. Lately.
I'm not on anything.
And I think it's because this fucking lab link thing came out, and then you're like, "Fuck yeah, my bias has been confirmed." So now I'm going to be a little bit more extra with my conspiracies today. That's what's say. Prove me wrong.
Could be.
Prove me wrong. So here's an interesting study that came out by Rasmussen and Heartland poll. Viewers of conservative media more likely to get the facts right on topics in the news. This just came out May 17th by Justin Hackings there. Let's go down and read a little bit of this. From April 29th to May 3rd, Rasmussen reports in the Heartland Institute, a national free market think tank, also known as Right Wing, conducted a nationwide survey. I don't know if Rasmussen is.
Yeah.
I think Heartland is definitely more conservative leaning. But they conducted a nationwide survey of 2,000 likely voters. Included in the poll was a series of questions asking likely voters how they receive news and information, as well as questions about a variety of topics in the news. The U.S. national debt, the percentage of Americans without health coverage, and tax rates paid by wealthy individuals and families. The following results from the survey illustrate likely voters' views in the most important issues, as well as how these views are correlated with the news media preferences. You can download the full survey and results all across us by clicking there, and we're not gonna.
We're not gonna.
As a matter of fact, I did put it in there so that you could look it out and you want. It's on like a Google sheet, so it's pretty well maintain, but they give us the bullets right here. Some of the Heartlands Institute's key findings from analysis of the survey results include there's a strong correlation between a likely voter's favorite television news outlet and his or her understanding of basic facts about important topics in the news. Yeah, and this is like a clear thing. Like you can go on YouTube and look up things where they ask these people questions about like, oh, how many black people were unarmed black people were killed last year, and they'll be like, oh, it's got to be like 1,000. You think that this whole thing that they started with the BLM, they would know. Every single conservative knows that answer. What that answer is like 20.
Yeah, I was going to say like 15.
22.
22?
And
Okay, I was going to say like 15. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's not 1,000, right? And even more white people were killed in that unarmed.
Yeah, yeah.
But but you'll also find that that's because their news is not giving these facts. They don't give these things. Like they go the gender wage gap. They go, yeah, well, of course it exists.
Say the ginger wage gap?
The ginger wage gap, yeah. And because obviously they make different choices than men, because men and women are different. And like, oh shit, triggered. Our survey also seems to indicate that those who do not watch cable news or network news are more likely to answer our questions about the news accurately than the viewers of CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, or WNBC.
Wow.
Compared to viewers of Fox News, another cable news outlet, and those who don't watch network news, viewers of CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, and NBC are substantially more likely to underestimate the size of the national debt, with many dramatically underestimating the debt. For example, 69% of CBS viewers and 65% of NBC viewers underestimated the national debt, compared to 44% for those who said they didn't watch network news. About 30% of CNN viewers and 32% of CBS viewers said that the national debt was only $5 trillion or less. For context, the U.S. national debt has not been that low since 1995, more than 25 years ago. Fox News viewers and those who watch another cable network not listed among survey results, such as the Blaze TV or Newsmax, were most likely to accurately identify the national debt, with 35% and 37% respectively making the correct selection. Now, it's not, let's go back up a second here. Now, it's not like they're that much off.
Yeah.
We're talking about 5% off, okay? Still big ass difference. Okay, let's go. Let's go down some more. Viewers of Fox or another cable network not listening to the survey, as well as those who don't watch cable network or network news, we're also most likely to accurately identify the top federal income tax rate. About 2/3 of the viewers of those shitty networks underestimated the top tax rate. About 30% of the viewers who watch, 30% of the viewers of those networks said the top tax rate is just 20% or less. Oh my God.
Do they really think that?
Well, because they keep pushing this thing like they need to pay their fair share. Obviously, if you gave them the if you asked, I think it's another one of those videos where they ask a bunch of random people, like, how much tax do you think rich people pay? And they go, oh, it's like fucking 20%. They'll have like, how about fucking upwards of 60%? And they're like, what? And it's like, well, if someone is paying half, let's say someone makes $1 million, they do really well, they make $1 million, but they have to give out 50% of that. Like, imagine if you had to do that. Yeah. Just because you make $1 million, just because you're good at something, right? And that's the thing. They think rich people don't get rich because they do good things. They don't have the stupid or a malicious thing. They just go, that side's malicious. Yeah. They don't go, okay, well, maybe he's just, everyone else is stupid. Like, maybe I'm stupid and he's just created something amazing that everybody wants. No, it must be because he's taken advantage of people, not paid his workers enough. It's like, how many workers have you employed to do anything for you?
Or they'll probably say, they'll think that, and then you could say, well, this person is, right? You could say that about a business and be like, oh, this business, and then you could say, well, why? Well, because he's white, and be like, but the owner's black, right? They always have to attach some sort of racism to it. Yeah.
Let's go down a little bit. More than 90% of the viewers of CNBC, blah, 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 underestimated the percentage of the population that has health coverage.
Wow.
Underestimated. I could have told you that. And a substantial number of those polled dramatically underestimated the number. For example, 63% of CNN viewers said at least 20% of the U.S. population did not have health coverage prior to COVID-19 pandemic. The actual answer is about 8.8. It's funny they say is about 8.8. Like, well, is it? That's pretty.
I know.
It's pretty succinct
you
right
just
there.
said 8.
Well, it's like 8.7779. But it's about. Which is probably what it is. Although viewers of Fox News and other cable networks were most likely to correctly select the percentage of the U.S. population without health care coverage, a sizable percentage of these audience also underestimated the size of the insured population.
Ooh, do we got to sign off?
82%. Oh, we're already off the air. That's okay. We're on the other side.
Hey, we're on the other side. Break on through to the other side.
Yeah, we're on the other side. Sorry, we got cut off.
By time.
Yeah, well, fuck, man.
By Mother Time herself.
The clock is covered by the camera today, so that's what I'm going to blame it on. So hey, welcome to the other side. Sorry that it's so abrupt. Give us a call if you guys want to talk shit.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, shit. Probably nobody's even watching. You guys probably don't love us.
They do.
They don't like you.
They probably don't.
Or they hate me.
Bro, they probably just don't like me, man. They're like, why'd you get a Mexican?
No, they like you. They like you. You're just a little bit too confident in your conspiracy theories today.
You say it. I'm not confident in it. I just have a gut feeling.
Yeah, that's some would call that confidence.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in something I feel in my gut.
If
you feel something in your gut, I'm pretty sure you probably feel confident about it, right?
But when your gut has let's say my gut has about an 80% led me right.
But it also feels like it's the mentality I get is when people say, "Oh, I'll never see it that way. I'll never see it that way." And that's sort of what I'm getting from your mentality or with the way you're saying things right now. You're like, I'm absolutely right. You may not be saying I'm absolutely right, but you're like, yeah, there's nothing you can really say that's going to get me to change my mind right now. And that sort of is a problem for me in a way that's like, you should be open to being wrong. Like when I talk to flat earthers and they go there, yeah, there's no way you're going to be able to convince me there's a round earth. And I go, well, man, we're off to a really bad start here because we do need to talk about this, but why should I even waste my breath on somebody who doesn't want to? I'm open for my mind to be changed.
Me too.
You're not.
I am.
You're really not.
But the thing is,
bro,
this is the thing. It's gonna sound arrogant.
David, I am but.
It's gonna sound arrogant. The thing is, I am willing to have my mind change. But the thing is, the people who try to change my mind and I ask them the questions that I have, they do not have a rebuttal for it and they cannot refute it. Like I even asked you, what have I said that was wrong so far?
Well, listen.
Lab leak has been right.
Well,
right.
Okay,
is that not what everybody is now talking about?
Yeah. That's one thing.
One thing.
Congratulations.
Okay, then the other
one thing. And it's
not
even your original thought. That's been out there in conservative media since day fucking one. It's not an original thought that... I'm just asking the questions, and I don't know, you weren't saying that. You were asking the questions too. Well, maybe this was a lab leak.
Mm-hmm.
But you have not said anything definitely, like saying this is what happened. You haven't made anything happen.
Well, then when I do say definitive things, you say, "Where's the evidence?" And I tell you, it's just my gut feeling. And then you call that conspiracy. So how, to you? Okay, so to you. What facts do I need to give you? Do I need to go to CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC?
No. You need to
because if I send you shit from InfoWars, you're not gonna believe it because it's Alex Jones, and that already disregards truth to you because it's. But then, how much shit has Alex Jones been right about?
Okay, good question. How many things has he been wrong about?
I would say you want to be 100% honest, 0.5.
0.5 what?
If you're going to give
percent of things he's talked about?
100%.
And he's been on the air for over 30 years.
Yes.
So 5% of 30 years is how much?
0.5%. No, bro, that's what I mean. Like, look at how you react right away. Like, oh my gosh. What I'm saying is,
You're being too hyperbolic about everything.
But what I'm saying, it isn't what he says, is that he does the research and reads you the things they say. And then the things they say come to pass, and it isn't because Alex Jones had this higher knowledge. He's just reading the things they put out. That's it. It isn't like this hidden knowledge.
He's not just doing that. Now, that's misleading. He's not just reading the news as it comes out.
No, I didn't say the news. I said what they put out.
Who's they?
Okay, so Fauci. and all these people years ago, they've been talking about doing these things. They've been talking about the experiments. They've been talking about Wuhan. They've already written papers. They have all these things out.
Talking about Wuhan, what does that mean? Talking about Wuhan.
About funding the lab. Again, like I said, that's been since 2009. Nobody looked into that until coronavirus started happening. Where did it happen? Wuhan. We could have been.
But there's a virology lab that studies when they study these kind of functions. I don't think do you understand that this kind of science needs to happen so we can understand things?
Nope.
Obviously,
not at all.
you don't understand that.
No, I don't see the necessity for that at all. I think modern day science is the most stupidest thing that we have on modern Earth.
Okay, well,
science is the dumbest thing. Modern science is the dumbest thing that we have infiltrated in our education.
There's no such thing as modern
yes,
science.
Yes, there is.
No, there's
Evolution is modern science, and that's the stupidest thing that we have in our education system. Evolution is modern science.
Evolution happens.
Evolution is modern science. No, evolution in the sense that Darwin. See how you are interpreting that in a whole different way.
All you're saying is evolution is not real. And I'm telling you, evolution does happen.
What I mean when I say evolution is the evolutionary theory that was proposed by Charles Darwin. That is wrong. That is 100% wrong. But that's But that is what's being pushed in our education.
Just saying something is wrong does not prove bullshit. You're just saying it's wrong. What part about it is
wrong?
wrong?
Show me where that has happened.
No. Burden of proof is on you, motherfucker.
Show me.
No, hold up a second.
Evolution.
Burden of proof is on you.
Okay,
You're the one saying it's not real. You need to tell me why.
Evolution, the way that Charles Darwin has proposed it to be, has never happened ever in the history of humanity and the history of all of science. Never.
What are you talking about? Okay, so you're doing it again.
Yes,
you're saying everything he's talking about.
Because Charles Darwin has said evolution happens in thousands and millions of years. Never has that happened. Never.
I think you're being a little hard on each other tonight.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because this guy is shot out of a cannon about conspiracy theories lately.
Because the thing is this: we in the if you want to call it conspiracy theory, right? We in the conspiracy theory camp have been attacked the last 4 years as being called crazy for everything that we've been saying, and now everything that we've been saying is now being said by mainstream media.
So you're proving me right.
No.
All of a sudden now you guys get this one little inkling that we're right, and now everything is right.
It is not that one. But what I'm also saying is the thing is this. What?
I started listening and thought Jimmy was back.
Wow. Wait, are you Jimmy or I'm Jimmy?
Yeah, well, probably assuming I am.
I don't know.
I never said anything crazy like you're saying.
But no, what I'm saying is this: like, I know the shit that I say sounds crazy, but it's also how many people, right? How many people voted for Trump? Over 70 million people.
Yeah.
So about 70 million people believe what I believe, and those same people were being called crazy, were being called deplorables, were being called things that was not right.
You guys got, not even you, but you're talking about one thing that hasn't even been completely proven yet,
but
that makes you guys all of a sudden right about everything.
No, I'm not saying even that. What we're
the lab leak doesn't fucking prove anything.
I know, and we're not even talking about what we're talking about was evolution. And what I'm saying is evolution. Yes. What Charles Darwin has proposed, that humanity and all these things evolved from these things for millions and hundreds of years, is completely false.
Because you believe in God.
And because when you look
think that all of a sudden there was man and all of a sudden it happened.
Not just because I believe in God.
Where did Adam and Eve come from?
Not just because I believe in God, because when you look at the science, when you look at the archaeology, when you look at the studies of the rocks, when you look at the water, when you look at the earth speaks forth what the Bible has said has happened. The flood, everything the Bible has said, when you look at the earth, when you look at archaeology, when you look at science, when you actually study science, not the bullshit they teach you in school.
Actually study science, but not the stuff that you learn at school.
No.
Where do you get this science? Where did you find this science?
You go research it. You go research it. You go look for people who don't just say what the mainstream scientists say. You go say, okay, what else is there out there? What does creationism say? And when you look at creationism, it gives you more accuracy in what actually happened on Earth.
But still provides no actual...
No, because you know what evolution says? Yeah, that there was a meteorite that struck the Earth and that's what killed the dinosaurs. You know what the Earth says? A meteorite has never struck Earth. The size that they say. That caused the fucking dinosaurs to die. That has never happened.
How do you know it hasn't happened?
Because when you study the Earth and you study where they said it hit and you look at the rocks...
What do you mean study the Earth? What do you go to a fucking Earth library?
No,
or
you go to rocks.
The Earth YouTube?
You go to rocks. and you study what the rocks say. The rocks speak. You look at stones. You look at the curvature of the rocks. You look at how mountains.
Yeah. You know what? You make a good point. Look at what the rocks say. We literally have something that can carbon date certain rocks, like radiation, right? Rocks, these rocks that radiate, and they can give us an actual or pretty accurate time.
Yep.
Which goes back much further. Than what you think the Earth is around.
And that's the thing, bro.
No.
You're looking at modern science. You're looking at modern science.
It's not
what you're doing is saying, look at what evolutionary people have said about rocks.
We're getting nowhere because
I know this is a whole.
You pick and choose which science you like.
Yes, because there's wrong science and there's right science.
There's only one fucking science, and it's not a fucking thing. It's a process. No, it's not.
Bro, it's
science is not something that's like, oh, here's science right here. No, science is a process. It's got nothing to do with, you need to look at the process. Like, I am looking at the process.
It is the interpretation of the process.
Okay, why didn't you say that?
I just did.
No, before.
Because you never asked it.
I've been totally asking you.
I know.
Look, go back. See, this is why we're having an issue today. You're trying to fight me.
I'm not trying to fight you.
I'm just trying to ask you these questions. You say you need to just go look at the Earth, study the Earth, and I ask you, where do you study the Earth? Go to the rocks, and I go, we do look at that. We have carbon dating that looks at the rocks and the radiation from those rocks that are emitted.
How many things do I text you and I send you that you actually look at?
I look at most of them.
Most of them. So if I were to send you
the TikTok ones, I don't look at. So I don't TikTok.
But if I were to send you all the shit that I see and read and study every day, would you read it and study and all that shit? Of course you won't, because you don't.
Because it's a waste of time.
No, because I know you don't have the time, and you have family, and you have your girl, and you do all these things.
Well, let me ask you, why do you waste your time with all this stuff?
With what stuff?
What do you mean what stuff? This is like talking to fucking Aiden. Like he goes, we're talking about. How does any of that shit help you in your day-to-day life that you want to engulf yourself in this conspiracy bullshit?
Oh, well, do you think I'm engulfing myself in Bible and
that's fine. And I think your endeavors in the Bible are noble, and I think it's great that you believe in some mystery ghost.
No, but not that. It isn't just I read the Bible. Then I also go to websites and YouTubes, and I do my study on what are evolutionary scientists saying, what are creationists saying, what happens when they debate each other. And I listen to hours and hours of atheists and evolutionists and Christians debating one another. And I see how Christians bring up way more arguments.
Waste of time.
No. To you, it's a waste of time.
If you look up the definition of waste of time, it's right. I'm going to look it up right now. Waste of time. It goes like right here. Oh, it goes. David Aguilar talking about religion and science at the same time. That's a waste of time.
See, because I believe religion and science go together.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You don't, because you pick and choose what science you believe in.
I believe that there is true science, and I believe that there's false science. Just like I believe
you pick and choose what science you believe in.
Just like I believe there's true teaching and there's false teaching.
Okay.
Right? There's true teaching about the Bible, right? And then there's false teaching about the Bible. There's true teaching about Jesus, right? It's like you're in a coffee shop. There's a right way to pull an espresso shot, and there's a wrong way to do it.
Yes.
Once you learn the right way, you do it the right way.
You're only a quarter of that equation when it comes to espresso, by the way. It's the 4 M's that makes the perfect cup of espresso.
Exactly, right? But until you know that, then you're never going to get a perfect shot. But once you find that out, then you know how to get a perfect shot, and you take that same equation and you apply it. That's the way life works. It isn't just in relationships, because in relationships, there's an equation that works. In friendships, there's a relationship that works. In science, there's an equation that works. And that's what I go by. What does the earth say? What does the Bible say? Well, primarily, what does the Bible say? What does the earth say? And what does science say? And then when I look at the science, I study both evolutionary science and creationist science. And once I hear somebody say millions of years, it's like, no.
Well, how do you know it wasn't millions of years? You can't even conceive a million years. Nobody can conceive a million years.
I know. Now the argument is,
what makes you think that it's not that there's no such thing as a million years?
I never said that. What I said was when somebody looks at something and says that goes back a million years, you've already lost me.
Yeah, why?
Because something could look a million years old because God created it millions of years old already, right? When God created Adam, do you think he
Okay,
created? No,
so
hold on.
we're done-
Hold
we're
on.
done trying to
hold
talk
on.
your-
When God
your-
created,
your
no.
crazy science.
When
God created something that's already a million years old.
When God created
we
Adam,
can't-
do you
well-
think he created him as a baby or as a man?
He didn't create him.
When God created Adam, so you don't believe he created him?
No, there's no such thing as creationism.
Yes, there is. Prove it to me.
No, you can't prove it to me.
Well, you prove me that there isn't.
The burden of proof is on you.
And
believe
on
something.
you, because I'm the one saying I believe in this. You tell me
I
that.
go like this. I go, look around.
So you're a naturalist.
Look around.
So you're a naturalist.
Who made this beer? People or God?
Well, at the end of the day, who's the one that made the things that the
See,
people made?
This is the problem you're gonna get across. So this is the issue we have
What's
with
the
talking
issue?
with you, because every single answer that's unanswerable just goes to God.
No,
Like, this is
not at all.
Yes, it literally. See, the questions that led up to me
Because
saying this literally did happen like this.
Because to you, that goes to evolution. Where did the wheat come from? What
Matter
created?
of fact,
No,
that's
no.
how you know evolution exists, because every conversation we have ends up with you going, well, God created that person who made that beer. It evolved into that.
And that's why for you, it goes into evolution, because you don't believe there is a God, and you just say it evolved into being wheat. And then man's mind evolved into knowing how to function this way.
And your proof that God exists is not proof at all to anybody but yourself.
No.
And again, we've talked about this whole magic trick thing where people can deceive you, and you believe that there's this Jesus guy or whatever, right?
100%.
That he was this magic person, but
No,
never been any other magic people in the
I believe
world.
he was the son of God.
Yeah, the Son of God.
Yeah.
His mother totally was touched by God. Didn't cheat on Joseph or nothing.
Not at all.
See, it's just so crazy. You weren't there, but there was a story that was told that said that.
Were you there?
But you're taking that. I'm actually looking at it logically. I don't have to be there to know that somebody touching someone's belly or some creator that no one's ever seen in 2,000 years all of a sudden touched somebody and made a baby. Yeah, I'm working by logic here. And I would, dude, I want to be proven wrong, but you can't do that. Because
why can't I do that?
Because what you think are miracles, because that's your proof of God, are just coincidences. But you go,
that's what you think.
No. Yes, I'm telling you what I think. Of course, it's what I think, because I'm telling you what I think.
And that's what I'm saying. You think the same way I think.
I'm not alone in this.
You think that,
I'm not alone.
and neither am I.
I know.
Do you think I'm alone in being a Christian and believe in miracles?
Yeah.
No.
The thing is,
no, because
you're not alone.
My people outweigh your people. 100%.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. So you're in the minority.
Then I have more say than
So now you have to prove to me why I'm wrong.
So, I have told you why you're wrong.
No,
You have
haven't.
no proof.
No, you've told me that
Just
I'm wrong,
saying
not why I'm
something
wrong.
happens because God made everything happen, therefore this happens.
So
is not any fucking proof. It's not even scientific, dude. Stop saying that you believe in science.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
so
you're
just
no
because it
science
isn't your science, it must be wrong.
No. Stop doing this. Your science, my science. Science is not a thing. It's a process.
Okay.
It is a way of trying to explain things. And you're not going by that process.
And why not?
Okay, so what's your theory? What's your theory? That God exists. Let's test that.
Okay.
How do you test that?
By miracles.
How do you test that?
By miracles.
How do you know if it's how do you know just because something good happens to somebody
See,
that all of a sudden that's a miracle?
I never said something good
Then
happens.
tell me how a fucking miracle happens.
By prayer. You know how many people that I know personally have been cured from cancer because we've laid hands and prayed for them?
That's so tiring.
No. Let me ask you that.
What? Ask me.
Do you believe that people have been healed from cancer because of God's prayers?
They've been healed from cancer.
Healed
from cancer because of God's
because
prayers.
of prayers to God. And doctors are mystified and saying they had cancer this one day, a week later the cancer's gone.
And that's a miracle from God.
I don't know, is it?
Or just something we can't explain.
What do you think?
I think it's something we can't
we
explain.
can't explain it.
Not yet.
So now we got to wait for
So
the
hold a
science
second.
to catch up to you.
So I'll tell you what. See, this is the problem we're having today because you're so cocky. You're like,
I'm not cocky, bro. I'm just saying.
So,
Look, no, because
why can't we
you just go into unbelief, and I go to God. You say, well, we can't explain it yet. We got to wait for the science to come out. And I say, yeah, I prayed. What is science? You cast up a hypothesis. If that happens, right? For a Christian, we cast up a prayer.
I think I've got this
if
set.
that prayer happens,
I'm going to tell you what. For now on, I'm only going to pray to this. And anything that happens that's good is because
go for it.
I prayed to that.
Go for it. That's idolatry.
It doesn't matter what you call it because that's what you call it.
Well, no, that's what it is.
I call it praying to my God.
No, that's what it is. It's idolatry.
So is yours.
No, it's not.
To me, it is. Because this is my God. Your God is not real to me. This is
Okay.
my God because I see it and I can drink him and he makes me feel things.
Okay.
Your God doesn't do
So
any of that.
where would the constant drinking of this lead you?
It doesn't matter where it leads
Well,
me.
it does.
Where does the constant thinking that there's this magical God that you can't even prove?
You want to know where it's
You
led me?
can't even
Hold on.
prove a
Okay,
miracle
okay.
without it going,
Hey.
oh, well, something good happened to
Hey.
some cancer patient, therefore it
Hey.
was God because he prayed.
Hey, do you want me to give you some facts? I'm gonna shake your hand real quick. You want me to give you some facts?
No.
I was a drug addict.
Yeah?
I was a cocaine addict.
Yeah.
I was running a crazy life.
Yeah.
And then I gave my life to God, and every day that I prayed, every day that I fasted, every day that I gave my life to Him, He changed me.
So the scientific process
No,
is supposed to be you trying to do everything to prove yourself
Nope.
wrong.
Nope.
Instead, you're only doing things to confirm your bias.
Nope.
Did you try to go to another Lord? Did you try to pray to
Yeah,
Satan?
I did.
Oh, come the
Bro, I was an atheist for 10 years.
Come the fuck on.
Bro, I was an atheist for 10 years.
Atheists don't fucking believe in Satan either.
No, I was an atheist for 10 years. I lived for the universe. I was doing drugs.
Look, I don't want to say that you're wrong.
No, well, no, because
only
you're
one person,
saying,
only one person can say that
Bro,
you're wrong. It's my man Jesus
bro,
Christ.
you're saying you want me to give you proof. I am proof.
Your proof is not proof. Bro.
I am proof.
Anecdotal evidence is not
It's
proof
not-
of anything.
See-
You saying someone got cured of cancer because they prayed doesn't prove anything.
What happens if it happened every time we prayed?
Then I would believe it.
And it has.
It doesn't.
Yes. You
No.
want me to
I
bring
wish-
people? Do you want me to bring people on the
Dear
podcast?
Jesus, I
Bro,
wish
do
David
you
would
want-
shut the fuck up about Jesus.
Oh, that's never gonna happen. And
My
I'm
prayers were not
and probably
answered.
because you don't believe in God and you don't believe in Jesus. So why would he
Why
listen
would
to
it
your prayer?
matter if I believe in God or not? I can just pray to God and it
No,
should
because
happen.
there needs to be atonement for your
that's
sin.
bullshit.
There needs
That's
to be
bullshit.
no. Do you know the Bible? There needs to be
I don't care
atonement.
about your fucking Bible.
Bro, there needs to be atonement for your sin for God to even to listen to you. You think you can approach a holy God?
How can we
Let me
how
ask you
can we
this. Let
talk
me ask
in a
you this.
logical
Can you go up to the White House right now and talk to Biden?
Probably not.
Why not?
Because I'm not worthy enough.
Exactly. What
Exactly
makes you worthy?
Probably
If he
money,
knew you, if he
prominence, fame,
no, if he knew you,
being black,
if he knew you or you're a part of his family,
Killed by the cops.
No. If he knew you or if you're a part of his family,
sell his son drugs. All these are probably the reasons I can fucking get to meet
the
him.
way that you would go to the White House and say, I want to talk to Joe Biden and they will let you in is if you knew him personally and he knew you or you're a part of his family. When Christ died on the cross, that's what happened to anybody who has faith in his name. For you to just say, well, I'm going to pray to God and in an arrogant asshole way without actually believing him, why the fuck would he listen to you?
Because
Who the fuck are you to be saying that shit?
Because I was made of his image and he will always
And you know what you're
forgive me.
doing? You're degrading his image by the way you're living, by the shit you're saying, by the way you're treating him, by the way you're reacting to him.
He doesn't
Do you
have,
read?
he doesn't
Yeah,
have feelings.
No, he
He's
does.
a God. He
no,
doesn't
he
have,
has
he
feelings.
doesn't
You know
have-
how I know? Because the
he
Bible
doesn't-
says Jesus wept.
Okay. Yes. Well, Jesus.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jesus,
exactly.
but-
So
well,
what do you
'cause-
got to say now?
Why are you so angry about
Because
this?
you're wrong, bro, and you're over here, and I know
think
what you're
you're-
doing.
I
No,
think
no,
you're wrong.
And I know what you're doing, and the thing is, you're degrading God's name, and you think you're right in what you're saying, and you're absolutely wrong.
That's your opinion.
You're
man.
no,
That's
it's not
like-
my opinion.
That's,
That's
like your
true.
opinion, man.
And you know how it's true because everything I'm telling you is true, and I'm trying to and I told you. Do you want me to get people on this podcast telling you how they've been here by cancer through prayer? I can get 100 people.
All right.
Do you want me to?
100
No.
people
Do you want
starting
me
today.
to?
Get this guy on.
Okay,
Let's
let's
call
go.
his bluff.
Let's go. Do you want me to?
Let's call his bluff.
And then what? And then what would you do?
I
Would
still
you-
wouldn't believe you
Then what's the fucking point?
because you're acting like a fucking
No.
cocky
Hey, no.
fucking Christian right now.
No,
You're not going to change
no,
anyone's
bro,
mind with the way you talk
bro,
to people.
bro,
You know that, right?
No. If
You're
I,
the one that needs
bro,
to change my mind so that I can join you in
And-
the gates
and-
of heaven.
okay,
But you're yelling at me
no.
because you think I'm wrong.
But what did I just
Instead
tell
of
you?
Instead of being a Christian and trying to get me to believe you,
What have
you're
I been
saying
doing the last 2 years?
You don't speak to me on my level.
Haven't I? When I just
You
told
speak
you.
to me from this level.
No, I
Instead,
drink
I'm down
whiskey.
here.
I drink whiskey and beer with you every fucking week. What do you mean I don't speak to you on your level?
When it comes to
I
God.
curse to you. I speak to you exactly the way you would speak to anybody. What do you mean I don't speak to you on your level? What did I just?
No, right now you're not speaking to me
I
on
know.
my level. Right now you're not.
After how many years? 2 or 3 years that I've known you, just because
Yeah.
I'm not speaking to you on this one
No,
day.
no,
And what did
don't
I
get
just
me
tell
wrong
you?
here.
And what did I just
Don't
tell
get
you?
me wrong.
What did I just tell you? If I were to bring 100 people in this studio saying how God has healed them through prayer, and you just said I still wouldn't believe it. So what's the fucking point?
Because how can you prove anything about prayer solving anybody's problems?
So then what's the point? You're not going to believe.
Because I would like to see some actual evidence. You saying that
Well, then
somebody
why
says
don't you
these
pray
kind
to
of
God? Why don't you start reading the Bible and pray to God and prove me wrong?
I don't need to.
Read the Bible and pray to God.
Why do I need to?
Prove me wrong.
Why
Prove me wrong.
Why do I need to prove
Prove
you
me
wrong?
wrong. Prove me wrong. What are things? Hold on.
I think we need to talk.
No.
I think we need to stop for a second.
No. The thing is,
and
why
reflect.
don't you pray and read the Bible for things you want to change in your life? And if it doesn't happen, God's not real. And if it does happen, then you need to repent and get baptized.
Bro, okay, so I don't.
What about that?
I don't. I've been baptized.
No. But you haven't been baptized because you don't really believe him.
I've been baptized.
But you don't believe him. So what the fuck is it worth?
Yeah.
It's not worth. It was not worth anything.
You said I wasn't baptized, and I corrected you.
Oh, I know, but it's not worth
then you said
anything.
it's not worth anything.
No, your baptism doesn't mean anything if you don't actually believe anything.
Yeah.
If you don't believe him, then what's your baptism worth? So I'm telling you, what if you actually read and pray and read your Bible and ask God to change you?
Waste of time.
Okay, then what's the point?
The point is just living the life that you have
You
now.
are exactly like leftist. You are exactly like the left.
Am I?
Yep.
Am I?
Because there's no change in your mind because you already don't believe.
Dude, I am so fucking open-minded about this, but
obviously you're not.
No, you don't see now. You've told me what you thought, and then I'm giving you my thoughts about it, and you go, "No, you're a fucking idiot."
No, I never said you're an idiot.
Yeah, I know you didn't, but that's what you imply.
No, it
because you're
wasn't.
saying you're wrong.
I'm saying you're misinformed.
Semantics.
What you believe is wrong, just exactly like with that guy with the AR-15.
And I'm saying the same thing about you.
And I'm putting you
right here?
And I'm putting you to the test because I was where you were.
Who says that?
I was an atheist.
Who are you
and
to test me?
I'm your friend.
Who are you to test me on?
I'm your friend
on religion.
I am your friend who was exactly where you were. I was an atheist. I was an unbeliever.
I'm not an atheist.
I'm not saying you are. What I'm saying, okay, then I was worse than you were. I did not believe in God. I hated God. My uncle committed suicide, and that's what led me to atheism because I hated God.
Dude,
So what I'm telling you is this.
Whatever happened to you that led you to Christ,
it led me
good for
away.
you.
It led me away from Christ.
Okay.
So what I'm telling you is I was in a darker place than you were.
Yes.
Way darker.
Supposedly.
And have you ever tried to kill yourself?
Yes.
At least 40, 50 times?
40, 50 times?
Yeah. Have you tried to run?
Is this a
No, bro.
a victim contest?
No.
I've tried to kill myself more times than you.
Do you know
Therefore,
why
I'm in a darker place than
Do you know why I have tattoos? It's because I've tried to cut myself so many times
Bro,
and kill myself.
This ain't a fucking
No,
contest.
I'm not saying it is. What I'm saying is
Yes, it was.
No.
Oh,
no,
did you try to kill yourself 30, 40 times?
Because,
That's a contest.
Because what you said was probably not.
Yeah.
So you challenged me.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, look at where my darkness has led me.
We all live a different path, and you cannot equate
and
anybody's different path.
And I'm not saying that. What I'm saying,
your needs are much different than my needs.
And you're right.
And
but
you cannot say that I've lived a darker, deeper life than you, and therefore I'm righter about Jesus than you are.
I'm not saying I'm more right than you are. What I'm saying is I've been to darker places than you have.
Yeah.
And God and
so you think?
So I know.
No, see,
because I know you, and we've had conversations and we've talked.
You don't know how dark my life has been, so don't assume that anything that you've done darker. How about just go and assume that any dark thing that's happened,
and I do,
I can equate with something of my life that seems as bad as what you think yours was.
I usually assume people
because we can all do that. You know that, right?
I know. So I usually
not all of us have lived privileged lives.
I know, but I usually assume people have had worse lives than I have.
Okay,
that's what I usually assume. That's why I never
Except with me.
No, especially with you.
Okay.
Or with anybody, bro. I never assume that anybody has had a good as life as I have, and I've had a really bad life. What I'm saying is I've been to darker places than you have, spiritually and mentally. The fact that you're saying I'm not an atheist, bro, I was an atheist for 10 years, and I lived in an occult shit. I've lived in demonic shit, and I've done stupid, crazy fucking shit, bro. And I'm telling you, God is what took me out of that. It wasn't just God taking me out. It was his spirit, his angels, his Holy Spirit, and his son washed me from all that. So what I'm saying is, it's like if somebody was lost in the woods and somebody created a path out, and then he went back and said, hey, there's all these people lost. Let me go tell them the path out. And the people in the woods saying, no, I don't want to believe you. You've never been out. And I'm over here coming to you with water saying, what do you mean? There's a store right over here. I made a path on the way to the store. And you're saying, well, I'm going to try to find my own way. And I'm like, I was in the same forest you were. I made a path out because I was shown a path out. And I'm trying to get you out of the forest. And you're saying, no, I'm going to find my own path.
So do you think that I can live a happy and a wonderful life without having the Lord in my life?
Yes.
That's what I'm doing. I don't need it.
But the thing is,
it's a waste of my time.
And the thing is,
what I've been trying to relay to this whole time, and you think I'm being disrespectful
and the thing is,
for saying I don't care about any of this.
The thing is, I care about your eternity, bro. I care about your soul.
Thank you.
I care about your
Thank
soul
you.
because you're only
don't
focused.
worry about it.
You're only focused on the earth, and I'm focused about eternity.
Have you been knocked out before?
Yeah.
And so, do you go somewhere?
I don't remember. I've blacked out many times.
Exactly. That's what happens when you die. You just black out. You're gone.
Well, that's okay. Well, what about all those people who say they've gone and seen Jesus? What
Have
about
you
all
heard-
those?
okay,
What
good-
about all
no,
those
good.
kids? What about all
Good
those
thing
kids?
you brought that up. So there's a little drug that occurs naturally in our brain, also known as DMT, that can explain a lot of these, final moments in life when people have their whole life flash before their eyes. It can explain that kind of thing. You ever done DMT before?
No.
I can tell you, it's like having your whole life flash.
I've done
before you.
hallucinogens before.
This is the king of hallucinogens.
I know.
Okay, so
Have you done it?
of course, my old. I don't want to say, but I know someone that I lived with that that made it many times, and indeed did it. Okay, and that can explain that
Why?
because that's your mind literally floods with images and could make you think.
What are those images? Where does your mind
it's
get
a
this
manifestation of your life.
Where does it get it from?
It's a
How does your mind hold these data?
it's your
What is
brain.
memory?
Yeah, it all comes from God. See, this is the problem that we're gonna have with fucking with talking with you. You got to talk to us on our level so that we can get to your level about God.
But you don't want to be on my level because you
No,
continue
I'll
to
tell you-
refute things.
no.
You don't have faith.
No, here's the
you don't
thing.
have faith.
Here's the thing. We were just going. We were working towards something, and then you go. And then I go. Okay, you're saying that, and I know you're gonna go because of God. But you don't try to interject and try to say, well, let's break that down before we get to God because. It will go to God eventually.
Well, that's what I'm asking. What's memory?
Everything you go goes to God.
But that's what I'm asking you. What is memory? What are these things?
There's something, a manifestation of what our brains can do.
So you think it's only chemical?
I don't know if it's chemical. It's something our brains do.
So your brain is a mainly chemical function.
It's matter.
Chemical.
Whatever you want to call it.
Read the science.
Whatever you want to
look at the science
read
book.
the science.
That's what. See, I know more about science than you do, and you're over here saying you're the science person.
Dude, stop trying to say that you're into science. You don't even believe in carbon dating. Why don't you believe in carbon dating?
I do believe in carbon dating.
Okay, so when it says that it's been 7,000 years old or something.
That's where you're again. There's true science and there's false science.
Okay, so what you say, what you believe is true science, and what everybody else.
I'm not
believes.
saying what I believe is true science. I'm saying what the Bible teaches is true
Okay,
science.
So this is where we're having a little impasse here.
Yes.
And
Because you don't want to read the Bible.
Well, it doesn't. The Bible is something that was rewritten by a king who was a bad person, real bad guy.
Is that all you think the Bible is?
No, but it's literally like a history book where people try to write down things that they thought happened. Maybe they're allegories, they're stories.
Nope.
So you're doing the same thing that I was doing, right?
Yeah.
So you see where we're at here. You won't see it my way. I won't see it your way. So why are we talking about this and arguing?
Because what you're saying, you're already coming at disbelief with the Bible, saying it's man-made, it's this and that. Like, I could already tell by your tone that you're degrading what the Bible is.
I'm just trying to go logically with things that we can provably fucking prove. Don't you understand that's what science is? Or you're trying to prove something. But by just saying God over after everything, that doesn't prove anything to me. And I would like to be part of your awesome group, but you won't let me because I have a mind that thinks logically.
Bro, I probably think more logical than you do. What are you talking about?
Is this a contest again?
Yeah, let's contest this shit.
Okay, let's talk about logic.
Go for it.
Thinking that God is the reason why everything exists. That's logical?
Yeah.
How?
What do you think is the reason everything exists?
Evolution.
Okay, and how did that start?
It started with cells that multiply.
Where did those cells come from?
Billions and billions and
Where
billions.
did those come from?
From whatever is out there.
And
whatever
where
we've
did that
done.
come
the
from?
Big Bang is
And where did
probably
that
what
come
they
from?
say.
Probably what they say. So you're not even sure about that. And
Nobody actually knows. But you can't be as certain.
Sure, I can.
Or more certain that God exists.
100%.
Because a book that's not even as old as the Earth itself all of a sudden gives you the history of the Earth. See, this is the problem, man.
Everything that book says, history and the Earth and the science and the rocks and the chemicals.
Why do you
think the universe is expanding? Why do you think the universe is expanding?
It's not expanding. It's always been big. We're moving further into it.
Brandon, can you please look up that if scientists are now saying that the universe has been expanding, I don't know how many years. See, you don't even know, dude. Why do you argue with me on things you have no idea?
What are you talking about?
You just said that the universe isn't expanding. You don't. It's expanding. Scientists have seen the universe and it's constantly expanding, and you don't even know that? That's basic science, dude.
All right. Shut the fuck up for a second and listen.
No, because you don't even know that. You just try to
It's okay. Let me explain to you what I mean here. Okay. When I say that it wasn't expanding, I say that's ridiculous. That doesn't. You're taking it as a literal thing that it's not expanding. It's always been huge, and we're expanding out. That's what they're talking about, expanding. It's not that the space is space. What is space? Space is crazy, but it's something that we can't just go and go. Okay, well, God made all that.
So let me tell you why God made that. Right.
Okay.
What do you need? What came first?
The chicken or the
No. What came first? Time, space, or matter?
I don't know. No one. Time is something that we perceive. And I don't.
So
know
what
that
came
yet.
first, time, space, or matter?
I don't know. What came? Why don't you tell me? You seem like
well,
you know
in the Bible
answer.
it says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth."
Okay, so
Time, space, matter.
Okay, time, space, matter.
Right there.
Okay. How? How did he do that?
When you look at the science,
Wait, how did he do that?
He spoke it into existence.
Oh, he just said something and it
well,
happened.
yeah, because
how is that logical at all? Wait, no, tell me, how is that fucking logical at all? If you're gonna tell me you speak logical,
Yeah.
how is that logical at all? That some being says, "I want this to happen, let it," and it was good. Like,
how
is that logical?
How was your
at
laptop
all?
made?
We're not talking about that. We're talking about. Let's talk here.
I am.
How does somebody just go, "Hey, I want"?
Well,
this
it
to happen,"
isn't
and-
somebody.
Yeah,
It's
just
no.
some magical
it's,
being.
It's an all-powerful, infinite
yes.
being, right?
Yeah.
And again, because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you this. At the end of the day, when you try to get to evolution and try to make evolution make sense, what you're going to end up, and this is where a lot of scientists have become Christians, because they say it leads you to there needs to be an all-powerful, infinite being to create this, because you need time, space, and matter all to happen at the same time. Because you need time, but you need space to put it in. But if you have space, you need matter to put into that space, and you need all these things to happen at once. How did that happen in evolution? It can't. Because you have time but no space. Hold on.
No, that's
hold on. No.
Okay,
If you
go ahead.
look, if you have time but no space,
You're using your argument with logic, and it's
Bro,
we're not even using the same arguments here.
I just asked you, where does time, space, and matter? What came first? And you have no
You're
idea.
telling me it came like it was created like that.
Yes, because in the Bible it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. God, time, space, matter. You have all three things in one.
You seem to be so sure of the birth of the universe, and everybody else isn't.
Who's everybody?
Like all of science. No scientist goes, the Big Bang started it. These are all theories.
So what if
nobody's actually saying that this has happened? God's probably just a theory as well, a very well liked theory, just like gravity.
Why is God a theory?
Because nobody has ever seen him.
Where did the theory of God come from?
From people.
How?
What do you mean how?
How?
What do you mean? There's only been people in the world. How else would it be? How else would it come to us?
How would a person come up with God?
Just more meaning.
How?
They're looking for a bigger, higher meaning.
How are you going to get that out of this world? You look at this world right now. How are you going to get a loving, merciful, gracious God out of the world? Please tell me.
I don't have to tell you shit. I don't care.
And that's
why the fuck do you keep trying to ask me these questions that I don't fucking have the answer to, because it's not answerable.
It is answerable.
No, you cannot say because a fucking magical being sought it out to be. That is not a fucking answer, dude. Stop.
Then how?
I don't know
because
either.
you say the same thing with evolution.
How many times I gotta tell you? I don't fucking know.
You say the same thing with evolution.
Evolution is actually something we can actually observe and see that it happens. It happens on a cellular level.
You're talking about microevolution, not macroevolution.
Why do you think that the influenza virus
macroevolution has never been proved?
How do you think the influenza virus
macroevolution has never been proved?
Macroevolution has never been proved. All right, why don't you go and Google that real quick?
Yeah. Microevolution.
No, because when you do see that it's on there, you're gonna be like, well, that's not the science that I believe in.
Because macroevolution is saying millions of years took place.
We come from that evolution.
Macroevolution says millions of years took place, and that's how we came to be. Microevolution says things evolve in slow paces of time. I believe in microevolution because of Noah's Ark.
You're right about that. It happened in a slow period of time. But on a quantum level, time does not pass the same way for us as it does in quantum levels.
Why?
Why do you think flies are faster than us when we try to swat them? Most of the time, we can't catch them.
I know,
Why?
yeah. Same
because
thing with
they're smaller because they perceive time differently.
Same thing with the sea animals and same. Yes.
Time is not this thing that's constant for everybody.
I know.
It is different for every
You
single
know how
person.
I know that? Because of God.
So how can he make that and make it different for every single being that's out there?
Well, you tell me. God,
I'm asking you.
God is.
You
God,
tell me. I've asked you the question. What
because
the fuck?
you just brought something up that defies science. How are flies faster than us if we're working in
What
the
do you
same
mean defy
time?
science? I just told you
No,
what it meant.
but we're working in the same time.
They perceive
No.
time differently.
Okay,
It's
but how does
theory
that
of
happen?
It's
How
a
does
theory
a
of
fly?
relativity.
Okay, how does
Einstein.
how
Why
does
don't you crack open a science book?
So you're telling me this: a fly
yes.
moves faster than us in actual time?
No.
In what do you mean no?
Okay, it moves faster than us in actual time.
Well, are we in
No.
the same time?
What-
Right. When I see a fly on here,
His time is different than your time. You know that, right?
okay.
The way he perceives time is way different than you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So you're.
I was saying that from the
No,
very
I
beginning.
know. So you're ascribing. Hold on. Listen to what I'm about to say.
Go ahead.
You're ascribing that complexity to a small insect, and you won't ascribe that complexity to a large God.
No, you won't take that and use it in the micro level
I
where we have
am.
seen evolution happen.
I
Why do you
am.
think we still have influenza every single year?
Has
Has it not evolved?
Bro, I'm telling you,
Has it not evolved?
It has, but it
Okay,
hasn't
there
evolved
you
in
go.
thousands of years.
Because it lives on a cellular level.
It has
lives
not-
on a smaller
because we
level.
have not
The
lived thousands
the
of
smaller
years.
The thing is, the different they perceive time.
And-
Time is way different.
I know.
The theory of relativity.
And you're again proving my point
No, I'm not.
because
I'm not
Yes.
proving any of your points, dude.
you are. But
I'm not.
this is where my heart breaks because you are and you don't see it.
Oh, well, shine some light, baby.
I'm
Come on.
trying. What did I just tell you? You're ascribing way more intricacy to a fly
Yes.
than you're applying to God. You're saying this fly can manufacture a different time.
You know the difference between that fly and God? I can see that.
That's where you fuck up, bro.
I can see it. But
And
it's
that-
not the only reason I don't believe, though.
Okay.
It's not the only reason.
What's
And
the
so
other
we don't
reason?
want to go into this thing like, oh, have you not seen $1 million? Does it exist? We're not going to get into that fucking stupid, that whatever trap that they're going to try to call that.
No, all I gotta say is, look, man, I'm somebody who, you know.
So you're saying you don't have any free will?
No, of course I have free will. That's why I sin.
Okay, so we do have free will and we can do
Of
whatever
course,
we want.
yeah.
Leave my free will alone.
Yeah.
Let me believe in what I
No,
believe,
no, and-
even if you think it's wrong.
Well, and the thing is this, is I'm not trying to impose on your free will. What I'm
Sure.
saying is you can be way more free than what you think you are right now.
I think what you're trying to do is trying to make a competition and who's
Nope.
smarter and more logical.
No. That's not it. Please don't even think that because that is not
Okay,
it at all.
okay.
That like.
Let me just remind you how I talked about a lot, and you go, I think more logical than you. You did that a few times today.
Well, because I think you misconstrued what logic is.
No, I have a. If you looked up what logic is and then looked up what your logic is,
So
they're two different things.
What logicians do you study and what logicians do you read?
I
And
didn't even know there's such thing as a logician. All right, there's people that specialize in thinking logically. That's ridiculous. Everybody needs to think logically. There's no professionals of logic.
It's a whole branch of philosophy.
That's what I'm like I said. It and this
and it's
is
just philosophy. It's
Well,
just the way people.
no.
It's also the way people see.
what
things.
is philosophy?
It's the study of.
Nope.
Okay, what is it?
It's the love of wisdom.
The love of wisdom.
Phileo means brotherly love,
Oh,
and
I
logos
remember we
is
talked
wisdom.
about this.
The love of wisdom.
I don't think that's what it actually means.
Yes, it is. That's the Greek words.
Okay. Go ahead.
So what does the psalmist talk about in the Bible? It talks about the person who loves God is the person who is seeking after wisdom. Philosophy,
Physics, ethics, political philosophy.
metaphysics, bro. Don't even get me started on metaphysics, man. Fucking people. How are people going to be talking about metaphysics when they can't even get past physics? That's the difference between naturalist and supernaturalist.
Wait, who can't get through past physics? You think that when something
Naturalist.
happens, no, you think that
Naturalists are physicists.
okay,
Supernaturalists are metaphysicists.
you're a supernaturalist.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay. Supernaturalist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe there's more than nature.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because there's butterflies.
They're nature, though.
And you know why?
Why?
Because we live in a...
They're actually aliens.
No, it could be... Exactly.
Exactly.
That shit shouldn't...
What do you mean exactly?
That shit shouldn't exist.
What do you mean
Butterflies...
shouldn't exist.
How... You're a gardener. How does a seed turn into a tree?
It
Explain that.
grows.
How?
It grows.
How?
Same reason that a seed,
How
like
does a seed-
sperm, turns into a human.
Yeah.
How does that
how?
happen?
Do you tell me?
How does that happen?
But I'm going to say
Oh, it
by
must,
God.
Must be God.
Yep.
See, this is the problem we have.
Yeah, so you tell me how it happens.
I don't have to tell you how it happens. I know that it wasn't
How,
God.
how does a seed become a tree?
You know why?
How does that small seed
I don't
become
have
a
to tell
tree?
you why it happens because the answer is on fucking everywhere. I don't need to know that answer because there's a lot of people that have a logical explanation for that. I
Wow.
don't need to give it to you today.
And that's where you mess up, bro.
Why do I need to know every single argument of like just because I don't know something off the top of my head right now that I'm wrong about it?
You know what the Bible.
I can't just refer to something and knowing that there's an answer out there that's probably good.
You know what the difference between what I believe and you believe is? What I believe, you know what it says in Peter? It says that you must.
Hey, at peace, shut the fuck up. No one cares about what you have to say. Call in.
What the Bible says, what the Bible tells me is to be ready at all times to give a reason for what I believe. Obviously, I'm ready and you're not.
That's the cult saying
no,
that you
no,
need to have
no,
an
no,
answer so that the people...
no, see, and that's what you believe. You see, and you see how you automatically...
Why don't you believe that?
Because what I believe is...
What makes me different than you? Why do I think that and you don't?
Well, I don't know. I think pride, if I could be 100% honest.
Pride?
I think it's pride.
Why would I be prideful of anything about that?
I think...
All I want to know is... all I really want to know is like the answer of these things.
But why do you want to know it?
Well, I'd like to know. I don't have to know.
But why do you want to know it?
Because I want to know why you believe in these things.
No, I want
to... I'm telling you why. Mm-hmm. I genuinely want to know why you believe in these things. Having my background as somebody who does prestidigitation, knows how to deceive using magic and different means to make people perceive different things. I want to know, based on that, because I have to use straight up logic to make these things happen, to make illogical things happen.
So because you're a liar, you think everybody's lying to you.
What makes you think that it's lying?
Because you just said it was.
No,
deception? Is deception not lying?
Yes, but do you think... What makes you think... I don't have to lie.
You gave me the deception is lying. What else do you want to say?
Lots of things are lying. Like you saying God exists, that could be perceived as a lie.
It could be.
Stop. Don't even try to interrupt because what you're saying to me sounds like lies to me. Okay. Why does it sound like lies to me?
Because you don't have faith.
So
so
why should I have faith? And why should I have faith?
Because it'll make your life better.
My life is great. What's gonna? Okay, let's say tomorrow, all of a sudden I believe in God. What's to be? Am I gonna live a longer life?
Maybe.
Am I going to be better person?
Maybe.
You know, those maybes can also be answered if I don't do any of that stuff.
But see
my life is going to be exactly what it's supposed to be because it's what's going to happen.
Well, and
nobody knows what's going to happen.
I'm with you.
That's the thing.
But the thing is this, and like I said moments ago, you're a naturalist. All you think about is the physical world. What did I tell you? I care about your soul.
I don't believe in a soul, bro.
And that's why you're a naturalist.
There's no soul. What are you talking about? What's soul? What is soul? Like it's something that escapes out of you when you die and flies up, goes somewhere? What proof do you have of any of that?
Is that what you believe a soul is?
Well, tell me what a soul is.
A soul is something
I've asked you like 10 times and you're like, just let me talk. Just go ahead and tell me what a soul is.
You've never asked me what a soul was.
Just now I told you. What are you talking about? Never. It's like talking to a 5-year-old with you. Like you're asking me these questions and we're like literally in the midst of this conversation.
No.
You're like, wait, what?
No, what?
It's like when I forget about what I'm talking about.
What you said was, I asked you 10 times what a soul was. No, you didn't. We just started talking about a soul. We just brought it up. You never.
Yeah, I'm being a bit hyperbolic by saying ask you 10 times, but I literally just asked you 2 seconds before you go, oh, you never asked me about soul. I literally just asked you about what a soul is.
What I'm saying is before that you hadn't. Right. So the thing is, a soul,
semantics. All semantics.
Well, no, it's.
I have to say things precisely perfect so that.
So what does that tell you about me?
Tells you that you're not listening to the thing that was just asked a second ago.
It tells you that I'm anal about things.
Yeah.
That I need to understand things.
No, you need to be right about.
No,
everything.
I don't care about being right. I care about God's word being right. And every time I read the word and I go to the science and I go to these things. So what a soul is what God has given to humanity to best represent him. We're born with a soul. Our soul can be corrupted. It can be darkened. And that's what happens when sin enters in. And the more and more sin we have in our life, the more opaque God looks and the more that we don't really know him until we get, right? What C.S. Lewis talks about is, people think that God sends people to hell. God doesn't send people to hell. He allows people to go to hell. It's like when there's two people there's a person who is an academic and he gets good grades and he studies and he goes to the colleges. And then there's a person who lives a shitty life and goes to jail. That's what heaven and hell is. That's why I'm telling you, we have free will. We get to choose where we want to go. If you want to go to heaven, there's only one way through Jesus Christ, and that's
So
what the
you're
Bible
saying
says.
eventually because I'm never going to believe in him, I'm going to end up in jail,
I don't
which
believe
is hell.
I don't believe that you never will believe in him. I mean, I'm going to continue to pray for you. I'm going to continue to share with you the
I'm not going
gospel.
to believe in him.
You never
I
know.
may.
I believe,
I'm agnostic.
I believe in miracles, bro.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is I'm not gonna put anything on you. But what I'm saying is, right, when you look at a student, and I've taught before, when I look at a student who has potential, I can do all I can to give that person the tools in order to get him to where he wants to go in life. But if he doesn't take that tools and he continues to live the life that he's living, then he's going to end up where his decisions make him go. So if I tell him, look, you study every day and you honor your parents and you do these things and you go to school, that's going to get you to college and a better job. He could listen to it. But if he doesn't and he continues to listen to his friends and to what his friends say, then he's going to go the other route. So I'm not going to force anybody what to believe in, but I am going to tell people I was exactly where you were. I was a drug dealer by 11 years old. I was doing cocaine by 12. I was smoking weed and I was doing drugs and I was selling drugs to my principal. That's just the way it was.
I doubt you were a drug dealer. You're probably a mule, but you probably were the kids that they put on the corner to...
Bro, I was stealing drugs from people that I knew who had it and selling it to people. So I wasn't a mule. Nobody was telling me to do this. I was stealing it so that I can sell it so I can just have money. And you don't have to.
I don't believe your story.
It's okay, and you don't have to. But I know what God saved me from.
Just kidding.
I know what God saved me from, and that's what I'm saying is I knew where I was. And the only thing, right, and people tell me that all the time, oh, you're such a godly man, you're this and that. I'm like, don't get it twisted. I would never be the man I am today if it wasn't for God. I would continue to do drugs. I would have sinned as much as I wanted and probably killed myself if it wasn't for God. I know that 100%. And you don't have to believe me, but at the end of the day, like, that is what is
Which
true.
rules supersede the other? God's rules or the human rules?
What do you mean?
Like, let's say if
Like-
God said, let's just go with the guns, right, for a moment here. You know, guns do kill people, right? And we shouldn't be doing that, right?
Yes.
Why aren't you for a gun ban?
Because it's the heart.
What do you mean it's the heart?
It's the heart that's corrupted. What is changing a gun law going to do?
Let's say you
No,
had
no,
the
no.
opportunity to get rid of all the guns.
I wouldn't do it.
Why not? They kill people.
Well, because at the same time, the
Don't
people...
you care about other people?
Of course I do.
Why wouldn't you want to save them from killing each other?
Well, that's why I would share the gospel with them. Because it's the heart that matters. What good is it if I tell somebody not to do something, but I never change their heart? I need to be changing the people's intentions
I get
of
what
why
you're
they
saying,
do it.
but there are going to be people, you can't talk to every single person in the world.
I agree, and that's why you evangelize
so
and more people get saved.
You could get...
That's why pastors and churches are important.
you shouldn't be for guns if you are a good Christian-fearing person.
No, that's not true.
Why not? Why wouldn't it be true? Like seriously, if they are guns, if handguns are the number one killer of people...
They're not.
Mass shooters
They're
or
not.
whatever, right? Well, they are the number one.
They're not the
weapon
number one
used.
killer.
The number one used weapon
In America, so now you're just reading things through American terms. So how fucking close-minded are you?
That's why I wanted to bring up the thing, like which rules supersede the other, America rules or God's rules.
God's rules.
So therefore, you shouldn't be for guns.
No, I should be for the heart. And that's why I evangelize, and that's why I preach the gospel.
I've got hearts on my guns.
No,
if I
but
got
that's
little heart
not what I'm
stickers,
talking about is the person's
I
heart.
named my rifle Heart.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the person's heart, the heart of flesh. For me, it's until I change the heart of a person, nothing else is going to matter.
Ian says, I think religion has led us to the messed up world we live in now. I just think we've led us to this messed up world now. So,
Well, again, so why are you blaming religion if God doesn't exist? Then it's man's fault, not God's.
well, maybe he believes in God and he thinks it's led us because of God, because of what people interpret as God. You know, that also brings me up. There are lots of people that interpret God differently. Who's right
agree.
about that? Maybe you're the one that's interpreting God incorrectly.
Well, yeah, and then I would say, well, let's take the Bible and let's see who's
There's
wrong.
a lot of like
No,
who's right and wrong.
Did you just
here.
hear what I just said?
Go ahead.
I said let's take the Bible and let's see who's wrong.
But you guys both read the same thing.
Yeah,
And you guys both interpret it differently.
and let's see who's wrong.
What do you mean who's wrong? You guys are going to both be in the same thing. Go, well, I interpret it this way. And you say, I interpret it this way. Well, who's right and wrong?
Well, it's gonna sound arrogant,
You are. Let's see. Well,
and that's what I said. No, and that's what I'm saying.
it, it sounds very close-minded to
it's
always
not.
go into a conversation
It's only
knowing that you're going to
it's-
own and you're going. It's like those videos I like
it's
to
only
watch.
closed-minded if I'm wrong.
But how do you know you're wrong if you never want to think that you're wrong?
Well, then Take it upon yourself and try it.
What do you mean try it? I
Read the
think I'm
Bible
wrong all the time, dude.
Read the Bible, pray, and come to church. Prove me wrong.
Dude.
Prove me wrong.
What do you mean prove you wrong?
I'm telling you.
Listen, if I came to you with something, if I did all that and I came to you with something and it's different than what you believe, you would still call me wrong.
No.
You just fucking said that. If I interpret something different than you and you interpreted something different, you're going like, well, honestly, I'd believe me.
No, because what I don't believe me. Stop saying it's me.
You
What you think is that What you think is that I'm the one coming up with these things.
No.
What you're thinking is David sat down and thought about these things, and this is what David thought he came up with. No. What I do is I'm studying what the Bible says. I study what church history says. I study what history says. I study what science says. I study what logic says. I study what philosophy says. I study what everything says about our world and God, and
Except for dinosaurs being
dinosaurs. Dinosaurs existed
millions of years ago.
not millions.
See, there's the
Thousands
problem.
of years ago, yes.
No, millions of years.
Thousands of years ago, dinosaurs existed, not millions.
See, this is
Look at the fucking fossil records, dude. Look.
Carbon dating brings it.
Oh my gosh. How the fuck are they carbon dating dinosaurs different from other things that existed at the same fucking time when shit happened?
It's radiation. Radiation is a known thing that we know how to get rid of. You know, have you heard of half-life for radiation? That's how they use. That's how they use carbon dating, because radiation lives in just about everything there, and they're able to tell the degradation of radiation in these certain things. Based on that, they're able to give a pretty good estimation, and a little bit longer than a couple thousand years.
I'm sure it would be.
So you cannot pick and choose which science you believe in.
I'm not.
You are. Carbon dating is. I'm just literally telling you about carbon dating. You're like, no, I don't believe in that shit.
I never said I didn't. I said I believe in it.
You don't.
I believe in the biblical, scientific way of carbon dating. Right? It's like I said before, there's a right way to pull a shot and there's a wrong way to pull a shot. There's a right way to brew a beer. There's a wrong way to brew a beer. That's a right way to make whiskey. There's a wrong way to make. There's a right way to do this and a wrong way to do that. What I'm saying is there's a right way to do science and there's a wrong way to do science. Evolutionary modern science is completely wrong.
What is modern science? Why don't you describe to me?
Charles Darwin. Anything Charles Darwin talks about.
He's not science.
I will blanket.
Listen, he's not science. He's not this all-encompassing word that you keep using. Science, science, science. It's a process.
Then why is it in our textbooks and why do they teach it in the schools as if it's factual?
Do they teach science as a process or do they teach it as it's a person?
They teach it as truth. They teach it as truth that is a person.
Dude, they teach the scientific process.
They teach science as truth in the schools, evolutionary science as if it is true, which makes it a person.
Heated debate tonight, yeah. Well, I don't know why I keep fucking going into it. I mean, the issue I have with this whole thing.
I agree creation doesn't mean the earth isn't very, very old. That's what I'm saying too. What I'm saying, like, that's why I'm asking you. I'm not
millions of years old.
What I'm saying,
that's very old.
No. What I'm saying is this: does the earth look like it's millions of years old? Yes. Is it millions of years old?
Because God created it being already a couple million years old.
That's what I believe.
Okay.
Right?
That's
why I ask you.
I know everything I have to say. Just put the word God started that, and then that's your answer.
And your answer is science. So that shows where your God is. Your God is science.
What are you talking about? Stop using this like you're just like those fucking everybody on the left right now. You don't believe in the science. You don't believe in the science.
Nope. Because every time
in the scientific process.
Exactly. So that's your God.
I believe in
that's your God.
Yeah.
There you go.
So. Yeah, because it's something that you can actually prove.
You believe in scientism.
Sorry that I can prove science.
Because you're a naturalist.
Yeah,
but you can't explain.
Keep throwing labels that I don't fucking agree with.
You're a naturalist, but you can't explain supernaturalist things.
I can. There are people deceiving you and making you think that they're supernatural.
So if I
believe in psychics.
So if I were to get 100,
you believe in psychics?
If I were to get 100 people here telling you their story of God, how God has healed them from cancer, would you believe in God?
Let me ask you a question. So first of all, it's hard for me to answer that one honestly, because I don't believe you can find 100 people that will say that honestly, tell me that I prayed and because I prayed, cancer is gone. Or you can find 100 out of the billions of people who've had cancer and survived, and those people happen to believe in God and think that's that.
And what if I did?
If you grabbed people that weren't just people that believed in God and prayed to God, or rather people that were just completely normal people that don't believe in God and got well and they didn't pray. Are you gonna get those people?
Okay, so
Because you think the only people that have survived from cancer are people that prayed. I'm not saying that's what you're saying completely, but you're saying you're going to gather those people for me. How does that prove anything for me?
What
scientifically? How does that prove anything for me? Are you going to get people that don't believe in God that were cured of cancer overnight like that, and they have a different answer why they got?
If I could find them, I'm saying from people that I know and people that I know that they know people, like about 100 people. I can talk to missionaries. I could talk to people in my church. I could talk to people in other churches that I know.
Look, I don't doubt that you can find people that will say that.
And
whether they believe it or not,
and
whether
that's
it
what
happened
I'm saying.
to them or not, okay?
So what I'm saying is you're not going to believe.
Hey, let me ask you a question. What if I find 100 people with the same exact story except no God? Would that change your mind?
No.
We're in the same boat here.
Well, no.
Why do we keep arguing?
Well, because this is the
if you're not
difference.
willing, there's no difference. You cannot prove God because you're look, this is the reason why you want to try to prove God, because of miracles. Because some people believe in miracles, and we talked about this. Miracles are like time. People perceive them differently.
So again,
No, what do you mean no?
Jesus walking on water. How is that time?
Chris Angel walked on water.
Yeah, Chris Angel had technology and a whole lot of fucking shit.
Well, you don't think Jesus had access to trick people? Primitive
what,
people back then.
What do people tell us all the time? Look at how stupid they were back then. Look at how they don't have this and that.
How do you think Chris Angel walked on water?
By glass. It was glass and plastic. It was like reflection shit that he was using. Again, it's illusions. That's what I'm saying. Like
why isn't it like even a close even an idea of yours that maybe in the day of those people 2,000 years ago, even the stupidest of magic tricks that are like the simplest magic trick you teach children today, but that was a magic trick you can show them. You can show these primitive people that this magic trick. You present it as if you're a miracleist, and they'll believe you, right? Am I wrong?
Let me give you a miracle, right?
No. Answer my question first here, because I was talking about this as Jesus. I'm not going to try to degrade. I'm just asking questions here, okay? I'm not trying to jump on your boy, okay?
Bro, you can talk shit about Jesus if you want, bro.
I don't want to.
He's big enough to defend himself. He doesn't need me.
This is a thought that's gone through my mind in the many years that my mom's been. I grew up Catholic. I barely went to church, but this is my thought on God. Is that it's not hard to believe. Because sleight of hand is one of the oldest professions. Yeah. One of the oldest professions, goes way back. And it may go way back as far as Jesus' time.
Okay.
So perhaps
give me an example of what Jesus could have done that was sleight of hand.
Well, turning fish or turning one fish into several fish. Turning slice of bread into many pieces of bread.
Okay.
Like these kind of things.
How?
Well, by using precipitation, it's simple.
But you're making it seem as if he already had this prepared.
No, you're making it seem like he's just waving his hand over it and it's changing into.
I didn't say that either. How did Jesus turn all those fish and that bread to feed thousands of people?
I don't know. How did he do it?
Do you know how he got the fish and bread? Do you know how he got the fish and the bread?
How did he get the fish and the bread?
It was some little kid in the crowd who was getting shit for his parents.
And so this kid brought it up to Jesus and said, "Hey, can you do something with this?" And he turned it into something. So let me tell you something about plenty of magic shows I watch.
Oh, there you have somebody in the crowd, and I know, dude.
A Confederate. They call those Confederates. Here's
so you're telling me that Jesus,
no,
out of 2,000 men that were there, plus women and children, Jesus was saying, "Okay, I'm gonna get this one kid to have a bag with 2 loaves and 3 fish, but secretly it's gonna be enough to feed about 5,000 people."
Maybe him knowing that that's going to happen because he's setting it up will have.
How did
all
he
that
set it
ready.
up? How did he know 5,000 people were going to be there if they all just showed up without him knowing?
How do you know that wasn't the case? Like you're taking it as it is. You don't have any sort of real historic data except a book that told you that, and you're not even questioning it.
What do you have?
I have questions.
And I'm giving you answers from the data that I have.
And I'm giving you reasonable doubt.
And I'm giving you answers from the data that I have.
And I'm giving you reasonable doubt.
And I'm telling you, how in the world is Jesus going to take this one kid who had 2 loaves and 3 fish and feed 5,000 people with it? Please explain that to me.
Dude, these things can all be set up in advance. It can all
so
seem
there
natural.
Is a
the
secret.
person
So
who wrote
in
that,
the desert, there is a secret compartment where Jesus took out all this food to feed them.
You know what? Maybe. Maybe.
Again, and I'll say this, like I said last time,
It
you
seems,
have
hey, look, it's
you
a lot
have
more
way more
look,
faith. You
it's
have
a
way more
lot
faith than I
logical.
do.
No, it's a lot more logical than saying he
If
waved
you want to
his
call it
hand.
logic, then call it logic. But I call it, you have way more faith than I do if you want to believe in that.
Well,
So how did Jesus have Peter walk on water in the midst of the storm? How did Jesus silence
how do you know
a storm?
how do you know it even happened? How do you know it wasn't just a story somebody told and that changed over hundreds
Because
of years?
it's written in 4 of the Gospels.
How do you know these people are
So then why don't we?
trustworthy people?
So then why
how
do we
you know these people
okay.
are like?
So how do we know your scientists are right? How do we know that your
Hey,
scientists
bro,
are correct when they've
shut
all been
the
proven
fuck
wrong?
up.
When
I'm not
all your
trying to say
scientists
I'm
have been
right.
proven,
I'm just
all
asking
your
you
scientists have been
questions.
proven wrong. So how do we believe them?
How do you know that? How do you believe yours?
How do we believe yours?
I'm not trying to defend anybody.
My
I'm
God,
asking
my
you
God,
fucking
my God
questions.
hasn't been proven wrong. Your scientists have.
Yes, because we're infallible. We're so infallible that we can't be wrong. Like, I don't get what you're trying to do by yelling at me. I'm just asking you questions.
And I'm
trying to-
answering them.
No, you're not. You're
Yes, I
yelling
am.
at. Okay. No, you're not. First of all, you're not. By yelling at me, that's not answering them, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, you're being a fucking asshole about this.
I'm the one
Because
being the asshole.
I'm just
not
asking you questions.
but just me.
Because listen, I'm giving you reasonable doubt. Now, listen, you can say, well, how did he get somebody to do that? I give you a reasonable answer. May not be the right answer, but it's an answer nonetheless that could happen in physical world space that these people live in, just like you and me. He could have this set up in advance. Could he have it set up in advance?
No.
Okay, there's the difference we have. I have reasonable doubt. I'm not saying that's how it happened, but at least there's an answer there that's physical that people like me can understand.
No, the thing
you
is,
want to
no.
it's just God. He
No,
fucking did everything.
because you
How
don't,
is that helping
Because
me?
you don't understand the culture. You don't understand the time. You don't understand the geography.
Maybe not.
And that's
But
what
you
I'm
know what I
saying.
do
No,
understand?
and that's what I'm saying. You don't
know what I
understand.
do
You don't
understand,
understand
though,
the
right?
historical context that surrounds all these things, and you're just talking out of your fucking ass because you think you're being smart, and you're not.
No.
And because you don't know the you don't know the historical context.
So
you
first
don't know,
of all, no,
you don't know the
stop,
geography.
stop.
You
No,
don't know
you're
what's
trying to
going
say-
on.
You're trying to tell me that I'm trying to say that I'm smart. First of all, I'm dumb and stupid, so don't try to think that I'm trying to be smart here, okay?
Okay.
Because I'm not smart.
Okay.
All
If
right.
that's what you want to say.
All right, I'm not smart. Okay?
Neither am I.
Stop yelling at me.
We're both idiots.
Yeah, well, you more than me though.
I'm with you on that, bro.
It's a
and
competition
that's
all
what
of
I'm
a
saying.
sudden.
I'm more of a fucking idiot than you are. But why
Yeah,
is
that's
it?
why you believe in God, I guess.
Maybe it is.
I'm
and
just
you,
kidding.
and you
I'm
know
not
what?
trying to be a dick
No,
about
and
that,
and
but
you know
listen.
what? And it maybe is right. And maybe it is because I have come to the end of myself where I've realized I'm an idiot and I don't know how the fuck to run my life. Lord, here you run it for me. And you know what God has done? Look at my life, bro.
Yes,
God has
yes,
blessed
God
me.
did all that stuff.
God has
Dude,
blessed me
good.
more than
That's-
I've ever asked.
That's great. I love that you say that. I'm not gonna hate on that.
So
But-
that's what I'm saying. I'm stupider than you are.
Yes, you are. But listen, I'm just trying to make sense of this whole thing that you call Jesus and God, okay?
And I've given you a lot of answers.
No, yeah, they all just end with God. And I'd like to have a little bit more than that.
I've given you way more than God.
No, you haven't.
Yes,
Because
I have.
okay, this is our impasse. Let's start again here, okay? And I'm just about done with this because when we talked about this whole thing could have been set up.
Give me one question that you want me to answer.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not
Just
playing
one.
I'm not playing your game. Listen to me, okay? We talked about this.
I'm not playing your game.
This
Listen to me.
magic trick thing, okay? Now, it was my idea as a young child, as a magician, someone growing up learning this art, that this could have been happened this way, okay? You said maybe a kid walked up to it. It doesn't seem.
That's what the
like,
Bible says, that a kid walked up to him.
Okay, fair enough, right?
4 accounts.
Yeah, all layman people out of the 5,000 people.
No.
not the people that are
A
in the know.
doctor, a tax collector, a fisherman,
Let
and
me,
a friend.
Let me go ahead and finish here.
So because you're saying it's like, oh yeah, all these people corroborated. No, it's been through
No.
multiple years, through
No.
multiple times, through multiple people.
No.
So
Okay, again, you're wrong by
No.
what I'm interpreting here.
okay, if you
Right?
want, okay,
Are you wrong about that?
sure,
Okay, so take a step back and reflect.
okay.
What I'm saying here.
That's the title of this episode.
Yes, it is. The only 2 people that are in the know of this whole thing, of the Confederacy, of him doing this, is Jesus and the kid. And maybe one other person to help him set up all that stuff. That's all it takes is at least 3 people to set this all up. Now, look, stop. I already see your gears turning here, okay? That's reasonable doubt to me. That this thing, there's a lot of time. They built the pyramids back then, all right? Well, they can do amazing things that we don't think that they can do, okay? This could all have been set up. Do you have a rebuttal of that seems physical in the physical world that would relate to me? And it doesn't just go, hey, no, God did this happen. Pretend or maybe humor my argument for a second and debunk that it wasn't prestidigitation of some type.
Well, what do you want me to go off of? Because what I base everything off of is what the Bible says, right? So how do we know that Shakespeare? How do we know history about Shakespeare? We read historians of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
How do we know things about Winston Churchill? We read about historians of Churchill.
Sure.
How do we know about the history of Jesus? We read about the people who wrote about Jesus. Where do we see that in? Is the Bible. So what you want me to do is go somewhere that isn't in the Bible to get answers to answer the Bible. How do you want me to do that?
You see, I think it's an impasse again that we have.
No. How do you want me to do that? Like how? Like
well,
that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. What you say. See, this is where now we. The thing is, we both agree that it makes no sense.
Okay.
Okay. We both agree it makes no sense. Your argument makes no sense to me because you keep saying God at the end, and that doesn't help me. I'm giving you physical things that will help me understand it better, but you keep going into the metaphysical, the supernatural, and I just
no.
There's just nothing. That,
and
there's
I've
no way
tried.
you can prove that.
And I
with me.
told you, why do I believe in miracles? Because I see trees. You can't explain to me how I see produced as a tree.
What do you mean? It just grows. It just is. It just
How?
is.
Who made it that way?
What makes you think I have the answers to that? That's just how it is.
But
Things are just they are.
So,
because
exactly.
We don't understand everything.
it's
Just because
like
we don't understand it fully like that way. And I'm sure that arborists know exactly how it is. And you'll be like,
Okay.
oh yeah, that makes complete sense.
It's like
Or
if I
maybe-
ask a kid, how was a laptop made? They're going to say, I don't know. A laptop just is.
Yeah.
You're right. But there's a creator behind it, right?
Right.
How does a seed function? How is the DNA way more intricate than an entire library?
Bro, you're absolutely right. Listen, you're absolutely right.
So who made that? So you're saying that just happened by chance?
No, it happened by people. People made these things.
People made DNA? People made themselves?
No.
What?
Matter of fact,
What?
hey, DNA is science, by the way, and I don't know. So you believe in that one?
DNA.
You believe that it was discovered by people, and it was a scientific. It was a thesis that somebody tested a hypothesis, and they determined that it was real by going down with microscopes that God helped them invent, so they can see these double helixes in the micro world, the ultra micro world, the quantum world, and that's proof of God or something somehow.
Yes.
Like how? Like where's the jump to God there?
Well, there's
Because I can with this whole other thing with this was made by a creator. Yeah, those creators we physically have seen. We've actually experienced them. You understand where my dilemma is?
well,
here,
what
right?
I'm saying is because you're saying because we have a physical world, there must be only a physical creator. What I'm saying is, and this goes with Aristotle, this goes with Plato, and this goes with Socrates and all of them, is that there is an unmoved mover, right? There's, right, the cave analogy. There is something outside of us that creates and enacts us. And like I said, you think, oh, because we have a physical laptop, we need a physical creator who made the laptop. Well, you're thinking physical terms that already exist. These like metal and electronics and all these things already exist. All we did was piece that stuff together. What I'm saying is, if you continue to go back, when you study the philosophers like Aristotle, Plato, and Socrates, they always go back to an unmoved mover. There needed to be something greater, unphysical, unnatural, metaphysical to create something physical. You need something greater to create something lesser.
What makes you think that these philosophers and these great thinkers are absolutely correct about things?
Because we still use their theories today and their ideas and their teachings.
Right, we use their thinkings and everything. So there's a man called Da Vinci. If I'm not mistaken, he pretty much lost his mind towards the end of his life and tried alchemy.
Yeah.
He was convinced alchemy
Alchemy's
worked.
fucking crazy, dude. Don't even got me started on alchemy.
So he was convinced it worked.
It does.
Spent the rest of his life trying to do it. Never was able to turn lead into gold.
Yeah. Oh, that's different though. Oh, that's not alchemy.
Well, these are great thinkers that really believed in something. And what makes you think that these certain passages and things that you read aren't some of those?
Well, because I put them to the test
Okay,
in my own life.
sure. So it worked for you. And so
And
it's for everybody.
and it's worked for countless people that I know that put those things to the test.
But these people didn't live in our time.
Yes,
Matter
they
of fact,
did.
they were very primitive people.
No, they weren't.
Well, how long ago did Aristotle live?
A few thousand years
Before Christ or after Christ?
before.
Before Christ.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, well, yeah. Aristotle, Plato, a lot of these guys lived before Christ.
Yeah.
So, again, how do they in a natural world find supernatural things? How, before God or before Christ, are they feeling themselves to supernaturalism or metaphysics when they were men of a physical world?
Well, I think it's probably because they were more primitive in their thinking. I mean, we've evolved as humans over the last 1,000 years. Don't you think that with more experience and more human experience out there, we're able to explain things better?
No.
Back then, they maybe weren't able to explain things as well.
What you believe right now is what C.S. Lewis would call chronological snobbery. You think just because we've been alive longer that we know more. We can't explain pyramids. We can't explain so many things.
What are you talking about? There's an explanation for periods.
Bro, there's so many things. The 7 wonders of the world and all these things that happen in our world that we cannot explain.
Yeah.
And that
doesn't mean anything.
That we're primitive.
Yeah,
and we still don't, right? How was Damascus steel made?
Damascus steel? Well, that's obviously done by heat and smashing 2 different kinds of fucking steel together.
Which ones? And how was it made?
Well, these are all something that probably came up accidentally when people were trying to work with fire, putting metal in and finding that these
accidentally.
Are glowing. Yeah, these things.
Then
can
how
happen
did they continue to make it?
Because they saw it and they go, "Oh, this is kind of cool."
So why can't we do it? And why the things that we
Damascus steel?
The thing that
that is something made today.
No, it's not. It is not the same.
Then what is okay? Maybe I'm mistaken.
Damascus steel that is made now is not nearly as strong, not nearly as durable or anything as it was back then.
What does Damascus steel to you? Because I think we have a different definition.
You're thinking about probably the style of how it looks. They make things that look.
It's done by taking 2 different types of steel together and then working them together,
which creates the look of Damascus steel.
Okay,
back then
creates the look of Damascus steel.
So now we know how to make like how it looks and all those weird patterns and everything, but the durability of what Damascus steel actually was, we don't know how that was done.
What is Damascus? I don't know what this is. I'm to understand that it's just 2 different types of steel welded together.
Bro,
and then dipped in ferro fluid.
I gotta pee, and 2, I gotta go home.
Yeah, I know.
So this is gonna lead into a whole nother thing. I think we're gonna agree to disagree on this one because I'm almost gonna be in my pants right now.
Well, I agreed to disagree with you a long time ago. Go take a piss.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching. We're out of here. Bye.